All right, good evening, everybody. It is 7:49, and we do have a storm that's been moving its way out of Middle Tennessee, and that is already has produced. The National Weather Service out of Nashville, I should say, has issued a tornado warning with this storm system. Now it's moved into the Cumberland Plateau, so we do currently have a tornado warning on this storm that's showing up across the Cumberland Plateau. This is currently ongoing right now for Grimsley, Clark Range, Rennie. Over towards the Roslyn area. This tornado warning issued by the National Weather Service out of out of Middle Tennessee, out of Nashville, is in effect until 8:15 Central, 7:15 Central Daylight Time or Standard Time, and 8:15 Eastern Time. It is now 7:50, so we're going to be tracking this one. It has been producing quite a bit of spin over into Middle Tennessee. Let me switch over to the velocity product. We'll kind of get an idea of what's going on with this system, where we do have some spin. So again, you got to realize the radar in Morristown, the radar in Nashville is so far away, and unfortunately for you folks across the Cumberland Plateau, it is shooting about 5,000 feet. So we pick up spin at about 4,000 to 5,000 feet, and that is currently located over the Hanging Limb, Crawford, Wilder area, just south of Cravenstown and north of Bonsack. So this is going to be working its way over Highway 127 between Grimsley, Clark Range area. So if you're joining us from Grimsley or Clark Range, probably a good idea to get into your safe spot right now and make sure that you track the latest storm with the East Tennessee Weather app. Of course, that app gives you all the latest information, past, current, and future radar of 2 hours, so it really kind of helps you plan. If you are now just to the east of this storm system, you can use that to get an idea of when that storm may be working its way into the area. So once again, we do have a current tornado warning right now along Highway 127 for Fentress and northern Cumberland County. It does not go into Morgan County right now, but for you folks in Morgan County, heads up. Now, we are going to continue to track this thing as it works its way to the east at about 30 miles per hour. So here's basically the general idea of the storm system. Let me go back to this here for 1 second. So what we are going to see is basically this part just right over Clark Range area. That's what's going to bring in, that's where we're seeing the majority of the spin in the atmosphere. The storm's moving about 31 miles per hour or so. So again, not too many locations. This is a very rural part of East Tennessee. If you've never flown over the Cumberland Plateau, there's a lot of trees out there, and it's fairly rural. But it is going to be working its way between Clark Range and Grimsley along Highway 127, on its way towards Deer Lodge, Sunbright. We'll go Elizabeth, Wartburg, Slick Rock, Ombre, Petros. You'd all be next in line if this were to hold itself together. So, of course, we're going to continue to keep an eye on this. When you look at the big picture, let me just show you what's going on across our region right now, because we have been under a risk for severe weather today. We now have a severe thunderstorm watch, but when you look at the big scope of things, it's not too terribly impressive, to be honest with you. Now, we talked about having spin in the atmosphere, if you've joined me on the broadcast at all during the day, but we just don't have a ton of activity. So we're watching this discrete cell right now that's moving its way over Clark Range and Grimsley at this current hour. We do have some spin showing up with that, so we do need to watch that pretty closely, and some shear markers that are going to be working its way through Grimsley. It's over the Wilder area, so Banner Springs, Roslyn, Jonesville, Clark Range, and Grimsley, all in the path of this right now. If you're right around the Glades, Cumberland Mountains area, Deer Lodge, Sunbright area, just before the Cumberland Mountains, I should say, you need to take caution right now. Know that you are currently in Morgan County, not under a severe thunderstorm a tornado warning, but we are watching one just to the west of you into Fentress and Cumberland County. When we're talking hail, we have had some hail show up with these storms, but it doesn't seem to be too terribly impressive right now. The shear markers, you can see this storm, how it's really held itself together outside of just north of Lebanon and Gallatin. That's when this current cell over Fentress and Cumberland County started, and it works its way over just to the north of Carthage, north of Interstate 40, north of Cookville, and then over into the Livingston area. But you can clearly see that it is weakening. You see how those shear markers really look a lot more impressive to our west, and not nearly as impressive for us here in East Tennessee. So that's definitely something that we're going to continue to watch. Let's see, tornado warning. All right, so now we have the latest information from the National Weather Service. They have now issued a tornado warning for Sunbright, Deer Lodge, and Catoosa. Sunbright, Deer Lodge, and Catoosa, you need to take shelter. I do need to send out a push alert here real quick, my friends, so just bear with me here for 1 second. I do want to make sure that everyone knows what's going on around the area and ensure that that everybody's going to be staying safe here tonight. So let me send this push alert out here for just a moment, and we'll get things up and running here in just a second. So again, we are going to continue to talk about severe weather coverage, severe weather for the rest of the evening hours. And as we do so, we will continue to keep you posted on that. But again, it's a new tornado warning now for Morgan County that has been issued by the National Weather Service. And let's see if we can't get this up. I'm trying to get a push alert. So let's see. Some of the Witcher Weather Watchers didn't get a push alert for the live notification. I do not have that up and running right now. So give me 1 second, my friends. But again, you got the radar right there on your screen. I just want to get this sent to everybody. There it is. All right. There it is. That's where I wanted. All right, here we go. All right. Well, if you have the East Tennessee Weather app, hopefully you have the app. And if you do, you just got to push notification. And awesome. It is working right now for live severe weather coverage. All right. All right. So let's see if we have any questions here real quick. We'll jump in here. You're welcome, Jackie. You're welcome, Katrina, Selena. Let's see. You're welcome, Brent. All right. So, we talked about how the atmosphere is pretty primed. And the thing is while we don't have a ton of activity out there right now, and most of you will likely be okay in the short term anyways, but of course, the one that we're watching very closely is in the Sunbright area. The warning on that is also, is also for the possibility of 1-inch diameter hail showing up with that. When you look at the spin in the atmosphere, let me make sure I'm on the Morristown radar. And when you look at the spin in the atmosphere again, not a ton of spin. We have some broad spin showing up right in this area, right around Grimsley, Clark Range, and Roslyn. So the National Weather Service is issuing this tornado warning out ahead of it. Jeremy Emmons said, just got the push notification. Good job, buddy. Thanks for, appreciate that. I've been watching this on Radar Omega. Have you, Chris? What about the East Tennessee Weather app? Got a great radar there. Although, if you know how to use Radar Omega, it's a great tool as well. All right, so tornado warning until 8:30 Eastern Standard Time for Morgan County. It does include places like Huffman, Sunbright. I know Sunbright. I'm sorry. I hate to be reporting any sort of tornado warnings for your area. But again, the Obed Wild Scenic River area, Catoosa, Flat Rock, Deer Lodge, and the Glades. So anywhere around those areas, you need to stay weather alert. Probably a good idea to head to your safe space if you happen to have a safe space, because this is going to be moving its way over Highway 27 in, I would say, in just a little bit. So, let's see if we can't get this here. Let's see. So Sunbright, it's like 7:58. It's about 30 minutes away or so for you folks in Sunbright. We'll do this. 30. So we'll change that up a little bit to give you a better idea. So the center of circulation, just getting ready to cross over Highway 127, Sunbright. That's about 36 minutes or so away. So I'll just say 20 to 30 minutes away from Sunbright. For places like Deer Lodge, we're talking 20 to 25 minutes. The Obed Scenic River area, we're talking about 26 minutes as well. If that were to curve its way, it's a little bit further south. And maybe Huffman, about 30 to 40 minutes would be in your location, as we continue to see how this storm plays out. Now, the atmosphere, now that we're past sundown, we're starting to lose some of that instability in the atmosphere, but it's still incredibly warm outside. And so that warm air is really aiding into the instability in the atmosphere. And so that's why we need to watch these storms. Now, with that said, we also have some showers and thunderstorms, well, showers anyway, starting to show up towards Fairfield Glade, Crossville, Lake Tansy. Now we're starting to see a few showers towards Watts Bar Lake and Kingston. And so we need to watch for the rest of this system. Remember, a severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until midnight tonight. So let me show you what that looks like. Here's that severe thunderstorm watch that's been issued by the Storm Prediction Center. This runs until midnight tonight. So you can clearly see we've had some stronger thunderstorms and a tornado warning for Fentress and Cumberland County. But believe it or not, they're not even under a severe thunderstorm watch. So, and I apologize for my eyes watering so much. Um, let's see here. So we've got, that's the only severe thunderstorm watch. So, okay, so I was just checking on some data. So with that said, as these storms continue to progress eastward, that's where you need to be paying attention. So again, a tornado warning for Morgan, Fentress, and Cumberland County currently, but this storm is going to be working its way into a little bit more of a favorable environment for the rest of the evening. So something to kind of keep in mind. So heads up, places, we'll say Roane County, Loudoun, Blunt, severe, and points further to the north and northeast, all under a severe thunderstorm watch. Now, when you break this down, we do have the potential for some large hail. The Storm Prediction Center, remember, if you've been joining me throughout the day, this is the latest update from the Storm Prediction Center. So they have now changed that level 2 risk for severe storms for the rest of the evening tonight to include a bigger chunk of East Tennessee, a bigger chunk of Upper East Tennessee. So Interstate 81, Highway 27, 127, 75, Interstate 40, all in the path of potential severe weather. I'll try to answer as many questions as I possibly can, but as we break this down even into more detail, the greatest risk for any of the severe weather, greatest threat anyways, is going to be damaging wind gusts. That's pretty typical for East Tennessee and the southeastern U.S. Now, hail is going to be a risk as well. National Weather Service talking about the possibility of we could see 1-inch diameter hail or larger. And if we were to see that, that's damaging hail. 1-inch diameter hail signifies possible damage due to hail. But we do also have a 2% probability for an isolated tornado. We've got enough spin, enough shear, that's winds changing speed and direction with height in the atmosphere to get some spin ups. And with this single cell that we have out there right now, that is why we are starting to see tornado warning associated with that. Again, this has been issued by the National Weather Service. If you're just jumping in to the conversation right now, we have 2 tornado warnings right now, one for Fentress and Cumberland County and also one for Morgan County. And that's it at the current time, as this single cell storm is going to continue to race its way eastward. It is tracking to the east at about 30 miles per hour as of right now. And so we will continue to see how this all plays out. But it is going to be moving its way into a more favorable environment, as I mentioned. So we'll keep that on the screen. Let me see what everyone's saying here on the chat. And let's see, a lot of you, looks like a lot of you got the push alert, so good news. Hey, by the way, if you're joining me on social media right now or any other platforms besides the East Tennessee Weather app, don't forget to download the East Tennessee Weather app as you head off to bed here tonight. It's going to be a great tool for you to get watches and warnings and notifications from the National Weather Service, from yours truly, to let you know if I'm doing severe weather coverage. Listen, this is our very first severe storm of the season, really, like severe weather event of the season. And so as we progress through severe weather season, you need to have a way to receive weather information, and the East Tennessee Weather app does that. And it's 100% free, and it's all weather all the time right here in East Tennessee. So some good stuff right there with the East Tennessee Weather app. Don't forget to download it. And if you like what you see, make sure you share it as well. All right. Jessica says, nice to pay up for the nice weather. Yeah, time to pay up for the nice weather anyways. Tom got the push alert, so thank you, Tom. Let's see. Can you tell me what you think about how Crossville is going towards Luminary, Tennessee is going to be? So far, so good. I will expand this view just a little bit to give you a better idea. And I'll switch to the national radar if you didn't see that yet. And I'm talking to Selena. So Selena, when you look back off to our west, there's not a whole lot of activity, okay? We don't have any severe weather there, so I think you'll be doing just fine. I think the biggest bullseye, or the bullseye really for all of the activity from here on out, is going to be right here in East Tennessee. And so something to kind of keep in mind. And again, where we do have that severe thunderstorm watch, we are going to continue to see, I think, these storms kind of ramp up. So let me show you that severe thunderstorm watch. We'll put that on the screen there for you. There's a severe thunderstorm watch. And so as this storm moves its way into a little bit more of a favorable environment, now we've got some storms up towards Scott County, north of Oneida right now, moving its way out of Williamsburg, or moving towards Williamsburg and Jellicoe. When you see a loop on this, I'll do a 15-minute loop on this to get an idea of which direction these storms are moving. And again, they're kind of progressing eastward, but a little bit of a southerly trajectory toward that, to that anyways. And for you folks in southeastern Kentucky, just a quick little look there. We've got a lot of severe weather in southeastern Kentucky. We've got tornado warnings up there as well. And so the National Weather Service out of Jackson, Kentucky, has been issuing those warnings. Let's come back to East Tennessee, though, here at this hour. And again, we are going to continue to highlight and track the potential for severe weather as this moves its way in to a much more favorable environment for the rest of the evenings here this evening. Let's see. I'm just going to the chat, see what you guys are all saying here this morning, trying to catch up. Let's see. Myra says, praying the storms stay on the calm side. Let's hope for the best, right? Timeline for severe storms in upper East Tennessee. All right, Justin, let's go ahead and get to work with that. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out because we've got the storms out of southeastern Kentucky, and these are all going to kind of dive their ways to the south and southeast. I will show you a 2-hour future cast. A 2-hour future cast to give you an idea. This will take us over 2 hours, okay? So this is what's going on out there right now. Let me expand the view a little bit. So this is what's going on out there right now. This is your 2-hour future casts. So as we progress through time, you'll see how these are going to be. That storm out of Morgan County moves its way into Scott, into Campbell, into Anderson, and then possibly into Union and Knox County, maybe even to Granger County. And that's the storm that's currently has a tornado warning on it. And so over the next 2 hours, Granger County heads up. So I think over the next 2 hours, this is going to continue to slide its way eastward. Let's see, it's 8 o'clock, 2 hours. It would put us at 10 o'clock. Severe thunderstorm watching goes until midnight. So I think it's probably upper East Tennessee. It's probably going to be closer to 10 to midnight for some of these bigger storms to move on through. Is the main concern north of Knoxville for tonight? Let's see. Sorry about that, Steve. The concern is where we do have the severe thunderstorm watch. That is going to be Knox County and north and northeast. So what you see on the screen right there, Scott, that is going to be the biggest concern for severe weather potential for the rest of the evening hours. Does it look bad for Rockwood? Rockwood, well, you're under a severe thunderstorm watch right now. And we'll go back to the radar here to give you an update and check in on Rockwood. Let's come to the current time. Again, we currently have a tornado warning for for Morgan County. So the biggest storm, so they're going to cancel that tornado warning. That will be expiring for Fentress and also Cumberland County. But Morgan County in the thick of it right now, even a hail core starting to show up in that system just outside of the Glades area. And so we'll start to see a little bit more hail possibly showing up with this system as we look at the velocity product and the spin in the atmosphere. Again, we do have some spin in the atmosphere. The radar is to the top right-hand side of the screen. And so we have to watch out for rotation in the atmosphere. Now, the radar is picking up much higher in the clouds than at the surface. But because we have a very favorable environment for severe storms, we will continue the National Weather Service, anyways, will continue to track this storm right now. So that's what it looks like right now. The good news is it doesn't show the signs of the hooks, the spin. Well, it doesn't show the classic hook echoes that it was showing earlier, or at least a little bit of the notches to get some of that spin. So we're not seeing that as of right now, not necessarily seeing a ton of activity, but we are definitely seeing some strong winds with this system. I mean, we've got some nasty winds up in the, so we've got like 84, 85, 87 mile per hour winds. That's also going to be at about 5,000 feet. So we're cranking with these winds. That's not necessarily reaching the surface, but it is going to be rather windy and gusty as this moves its way on in. Any tornado concerns for Knoxville? Yes, there are tornado concerns. So everybody has a concern for tornadoes in East Tennessee. When you go back to, let me go back to the severe thunderstorm watch. And just to kind of put things into perspective for everybody, let's get this back on here. All right. So let's get this watch on here. Okay, I'm not quite sure why my watch isn't showing up, but we do have the severe thunderstorm watch. And so I think anywhere in that watch area, we definitely have a little bit more of a concern for tornadoes. So everybody across East Tennessee and everybody in the severe thunderstorm watch area, which you'll see on your screen right there, needs to stay weather alert for the rest of the evening due to the potential for damaging wind gusts, large hail up to an inch in diameter, and also the potential for an isolated spin up, which is what we are currently watching over into Morgan County. Again, there's not a ton of concern with that system as of right now. Don't see anything majorly concerning, but definitely something that we are tracking because, again, we do have that tornado warning that has been issued by the National Weather Service out of Morristown. So that's the one we're going to be watching here. The radar is not looking very nasty on the futurecast for Rockwood. No, it's not. And so, again, we'll just have to see how these storms propagate because, again, we are starting to get them to fire up a little bit more. Here's a radar loop over the last hour. So this will give you an idea of how these storms. So, again, we've got that one cell, but we also have stuff coming out of Kentucky, out of McCreary County, Kentucky, into Whitley County. So Jellicoe heads up. This is also going to have quite a bit of wind associated with it due to the fact that we have a little bit of a Boeing segment with that. And so watch out for some of the higher winds moving its way into Jellicoe. Let's see what the winds are showing up with that. Probably not too terribly strong. Nope, not too terribly strong right now. And I don't necessarily see a bunch of like solid rotation. Okay, now we're starting to get a little bit more rotation showing up in this storm. All right, here we go. Now it's getting a little bit closer to the radar. We're seeing a little bit more spin in the atmosphere. So green is towards the radar. Red is away from the radar. To kind of give you the radar is in the top right-hand side of your screen in Morristown. So green is towards, red is away. And this is where we're getting their spin. So Deer Lodge, take shelter right now. Anybody right around Glades, Deer Lodge, Pilot Mountain, Sunbright, you need to take shelter right now and get into your safe spot right now because we are starting to see a little bit more signs of rotation with this system. Pilot Mountain, Sunbright, Annandale, Lansing, although it's probably going to work its way north of Lansing and towards the Mill Creek area, Lone Mountain, Elizabeth, and Mahan Village, all next in line and all in the path of potential severe weather. And again, a potential tornado. Now, this is all Doppler indicated tornado warnings. And so the Doppler radar is picking up on the spin in the atmosphere. Let me switch the radar products for this. And let's see. So this tornado warning for Sunbright in Morgan County runs for another 17 more minutes. And so it is Doppler estimated, and it will continue to race its way to the east. So that's what we're watching right now, moving its way into the Obed Wild and Scenic River Center area. So if you've ever been across the Obed area, you know, there's a lot of rural communities over there. But again, if you're in Deer Lodge, Glades, Sunbright, Annandale, you need to take shelter. Now, we'll go ahead and track this out for you, and we'll take it out 30. It's tracking about 30 to 35 miles per hour. We'll just go a little bit faster to give you a little bit extra time. So there's a spin right now there. So Deer Lodge 816. It's now currently 813. Sunbright at 825. Annandale at 826. Elizabeth at 835, and Slick Rock at 842 if it continues to hold together. And then it would be working its way into the Cumberland Mountains. So Slick Rock's top center of the screen, you have Ombre, you have Braytown, Buffalo, Petros. Again, working its way towards Wartburg and Frozen Head State Park area. So that's what we're going to be watching. And we do have more spins showing up on this right now. All right. The National Weather Service has now just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning. That is getting ready to come on down. And we're starting to get a little bit more of those trackers showing up with the radar products. And so let's see here. So that would be Southwest Virginia. So that severe thunderstorm warnings would be for Southwest Virginia, not for anything that we're going to be talking about. All right. Tracy says, thanks for all you do. You're very welcome. Let's see. Mike Cromer, what's up, buddy? Do you think the storm will pass north of Powell and the Halls area. Probably, based on the latest track of this, I would say probably, but definitely be close, and because it's going to be tracking its way from, for the most part, from west to east. Again, the storm system that we're tracking that has a tornado warning attached to it right now for until 8:30, so for another 15 minutes, is right there in the Deer Lodge, Sunbright area. So if you're in this area, you need to take shelter right now. We do have some spin showing up in the atmosphere. This is Doppler radar indicated, but definitely something that we are tracking. The National Weather Service is tracking. And if you're joining us from Morgan County or anywhere around that area, you definitely need to take shelter and head to a safe spot, whether that be a closet, a basement, interior room, or bathroom. Let's see, getting some strong winds in Oneida right now, says Beth. And so... yeah, you've got that cell that's coming in out of Kentucky over the Winfield area. So that's what's going on with that one. And so you're likely to get some very strong winds with that one. Let's see. But there is no severe thunderstorm warning with that. We only have one warning right now, and that's that tornado warning showing up in Morgan County. So again, can't stress it enough. Glades, Deer Lodge. Well, Glades, it's already passed you. Deer Lodge, Sunbright, Annandale, Huffman, Elizabeth, Wartburg, Lone Mountain, Slick Rock, Ombre, Cumberland Mountains area, Mill Creek, and Mahan Village. If I called out anywhere near your area, track it with the East Tennessee Weather app. Stay with me on this live weather coverage. And again, head to your safe spot. That's what's great about the technology these days. We don't have to turn up the TV and go to a safe spot. You can take your cell phone, your laptops, and or your tablets with you. Zeta says, what about Bean Station? Bean Station. Probably is. I mean, listen, everybody in Upper East Tennessee is going to be under a risk for severe storms. This goes until midnight. It's only 8 o'clock. So we have plenty of time. We have 4 more hours, essentially, of potential severe weather. So let's hope that it doesn't happen. And let's hope that this storm up towards Jellicoe and Scott County doesn't amount to a whole lot except for some strong gusty winds. Let's hope that this storm coming out of Sunbright doesn't change much course. And it doesn't do much. Let's see. So we're just trying to find out information from the National Weather Service. Let's see. The National Weather Service is saying, in addition to damaging winds and tornado threat through this evening, I want to highlight the potential for flooding and flash flooding concerns tonight. The 1-hour flash flood guidance for much of Southwest Virginia counties, especially anyways. So he's talking more Southwest Virginia for the potential for some localized flooding. So something to keep in mind if you happen to be joining us from Virginia this evening. And again, I apologize for my eyeballs. I've got a sty in my eye, and they will not stop watering. So I just can't do anything about that. Great idea. Dina says, just make sure you keep your devices charged. Charge your devices right now. If you're just kind of winding down, you're on your cell phone, make sure to just charge it just to be on the safe side in case you lose power. But again, have it ready to go and have your alerts ready to go too with the East Tennessee Weather app, because if for some reason you want to head off to bed and you get alerted from the National Weather Service or me for doing more extended coverage, you'll want that information right there at your cell phone. But great tip right there, Dina. Daniel Garrett says, winds, rain, and Sunbright and Elizabeth. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate that. Let's see. What do you think it will come through Parrotsville? It's going to be a long time, probably closer to 10 to midnight. So we've got a long time before it's going to make its way into Cocke County. Let's see. Caitlin says, looks like it might miss Maryville from your radar shown earlier. I think the severe weather potential is probably going to miss Maryville. But Maryville is under a severe thunderstorm watch, so I would say it's not totally out of the woods yet. And so, and again, that's just one model guidance. Just an FYI, that was one model guidance I showed you with the Futurecast. And so, again, it doesn't always tell the exact story. It's weather, right? It hasn't happened yet. Let's see, is Jacksboro in the path of the tornado warning? No, Jacksboro is not. I don't think. Let me just double check. But no, as of right now, it's not. But again, Jacksboro's right here, the top right-hand side of your screen. I just circled it. And here's the storm just to your west and southwest. The storm is, the leading edge of it really is 30 minutes away, maybe 15 miles away or so. Same with you folks in Lake City. So some heavier downpours moving their way into Lake City, and some possible severe weather moving its way into Lake City as well, and other locations around the area. So as we kind of highlight, we'll just kind of fan this out here. So there are some other locations that would be in the path, or potential path anyways, of this system. And be about right. So again, Smoky Junction about 8:30. So it's 8:20 right now. So heads up Smoky Junction. The Y, 8:47. Lake City, 8:48 if it holds together. Norris at 8:59. Paulette at 9:18. And Norris Lake at around 9:19. Again, it's moving to the east at about 30 miles per hour. So they're not racing too terribly fast. So it's going to take quite some time for it to actually move its way on through. Josh Quater joining us right now. Mike, could you repeat the thoughts on Anderson County high area? I lost service. Yes, I can. Josh Quater and the EMA folks from Anderson County. So Josh, let's see here. Let's go back to the storm. So there's Anderson County, right? Let me just kind of spread it out a little bit more so you can get a better idea of Anderson County. So we basically have Anderson County, right? Let's see if I can draw my map right. I'm not going to be able to draw that right. But anyways, Anderson County. So, Josh, so as we progress through time, I'll show you the Futurecast radar. I'll give you the 2-hour radar loop here in just a moment. And there it is. All right, so let's pick up the Futurecast Future Scan. This is this picks up on exactly what's going on out there right now. So let me go back to the radar for a second. There's that storm on the radar. Now we click on our Future Scan and see how it's picking up on that activity. So now we take you 2 hours at a time. So here we go. It's going to work its way eastward. Now it may stay on the north side of Anderson County, Josh. So based on this model guidance, we're talking about Braytown, Briceville, Lake City, Beach Fork, Pee Wee, and Charlie's Branch. So it may stay on the north side of town, but the south side towards Oak Ridge, Blowing Springs, Dutch Valley, Frost, and Petros, probably going to stay on the quieter side. So hopefully that gives you a better idea, Josh. But I think the northern side of Anderson County probably has the best potential anyways. But with that said, the National Weather Service now has issued another tornado warning. All right, so here we go. So, Josh, as I was talking to you, now the tornado warning has shifted, and it's angled a little bit further to the south and southeast. And so, again, that's why that Futurecast model, it's picking up on the current winds in the atmosphere. And if the radar is pushing it due east, that's what the Futurecast is going to do. So give me a little bit of time now that we have a new radar update. That Futurecast will probably do a little bit better. But new tornado warning issued by the National Weather Service. This tornado warning now is, let's see here. Get all the information for you, my friends. So the tornado warning, National Weather Service tornado warning for central Morgan County in East Tennessee, southwestern Anderson County, northeastern Roane County, south central Scott County, and this runs until 8:45. So at 8:19, a severe thunderstorm. Let's see here. At 8:19, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles northwest of Wartburg, moving east at 55 miles per hour. The internal winds anyways, but the general idea is about 35 miles per hour or so. So hazard is of quarter-size hail and a possible tornado. It is radar indicated. So let's go to the radar now and go back to the velocity products to give you a better idea of where that spin is in the atmosphere. And again, kind of some broad spin. It doesn't look too terribly impressive on the velocity product, but we do have that tornado warning. And so anybody inside this, folks inside this tornado warning, we'll just kind of add everybody up. All right, so we're starting to get a little bit of a tighter spin showing up towards Annandale. So again, Pilot Mountain, Annandale, Lansing, head to your safe spots. Elizabeth, Wartburg, Mahan Village, Frozen Head State Park area, Liberty, Petros. Probably a good time to start gathering some stuff, maybe your cell phones, maybe some snacks. Head to an interior room or closet or basement if you happen to have one, and just kind of watch the broadcast from your cell phone, from your laptop, or your computer as we continue to talk about this, because we have other places inside. So Oliver Springs inside the tornado warning. We have Coalfield inside the tornado warning. All right, here we go. Now, let's see here. So now we have a confirmed tornado. So the National Weather Service now we have a confirmed tornado on the ground in Morgan County. That is what is being indicated on the screen right now. So a confirmed tornado on the ground. So Elizabeth, Wartburg, Lansing, anybody along Highway 27, Mahan, Frozen Head State Park area. Again, a potential tornado on the ground. Waiting to see what the National Weather Service is saying. Debris signature a few minutes ago. So we'll come to velocity. Let's go to the debris. And let me go back in time. So there's a potential debris signature right there showing up just outside of Pilot Mountain. So that right there is potential debris being lofted in the atmosphere. Okay, so the National Weather Service has upgraded to a radar confirmed tornado. So a radar confirmed tornado based on that right there, showing the potential for a debris signature. That's what we look at. So this is looking at all the aspects of the storm system inside, and it is picking up on small particles being lofted in the air. So that was over towards the Pilot Mountain area. Now, as we bring it into the current time, again, you can kind of see how we do have still the possibility of some debris. So Elizabeth, you need to head to your safe spot right now. Elizabeth, you need to head to your safe spot. Mahan Village, Wartburg, head to your safe spot. Again, as I switch to another product here, as we continue to talk about the shear in the atmosphere, there it is right there. So let me take this off. So right there's the shear environment that we need to watch for very closely. This is an in-house product that I have access to at East Tennessee Weather, and this is a proprietary product, anyways, through my computer system that really does a great job on picking up on spin in the atmosphere inside of a potential tornado or a severe thunderstorm. And so that's exactly what we're talking about right there. So the National Weather Service has upgraded to a confirmed tornado warning. This does run until 8:45. It is now 8:27. There are the folks in the path of the storm. It is moving its way over Elizabeth and Wartburg right now. So Petros and Stevens, Buffalo, Braytown, Charlie's Branch, Frost, Oliver Springs, Heads Up, Oak Hills Estates, Oak Ridge even, Mineralsville. If I called out anywhere in your area, you definitely need to take shelter, head to your safe spot. This is heading over Frozen Head State Park, so it's heading into the Cumberland Mountains. Frozen Head State Park, there's a lot of rural terrain here, a lot of mountainous terrain here, but we'll have to see what it does on the other side as it gets down into a little bit more populated areas. So a confirmed tornado warning has been issued by the National Weather Service. Let's go to the chat and see what you all are saying. Let's see. Yeah, Oak Ridge has a tornado warning. Sirens are going off. Anyways, I think I was talking to, Josh Queener. There you go, buddy. You're welcome. But again, how things quickly change. And so let me know. Keep me posted by all means if you don't mind. And we'll see if we can't get this information passed on to everybody else. Let's see here. Any Witcher Weather Watchers joining? If you have any information besides the actual stuff that I'm talking about, let me know. Rather than regurgitating what the National Weather Service is doing, if you wouldn't mind, if you happen to have new information, that'd be great. Other than that, let's see. Crossville's out. Pretty much, I think Crossville, you're doing just fine. There's no major activity, nothing major in Crossville right now, and I would imagine that you'll probably be okay as we progress through time. Remember, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that has been issued by the Storm Prediction Center. No tornado warning right now with that system, but we do have a severe thunderstorm watch with embedded tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings into parts of Kentucky. So that's what we're watching for the rest of the night tonight. This runs until midnight tonight. What about Harriman? Harriman is definitely going to be in the path of let's see, maybe not that cell itself, as Harriman's going to be a little bit further to the south. So Harriman, you're going to be fine from this cell, but not necessarily out of the woods for the rest of the evening as we continue to track in the potential for more storms as this moves its way into a little bit more of a favorable environment. All right, so we'll take it back out to the bigger picture. We don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings or any warnings attached to this system moving its way through Jellicoe into Campbell and also Campbell County and also Scott County. So Claiborne County heads up. This is moving its way into Clairfield, Powell Valley, Speedwell, Habersham, Elk Valley, Pioneer, La Follette. No no warnings on this system right there, but it is definitely going to pack a punch with some strong winds and the potential for some hail out of that system. But of course, the one that we're talking about right now is a confirmed tornado warning that has been upgraded from the National Weather Service out of Morristown due to the fact that we had a debris signature showing up on the correlation coefficient, which is part of the Doppler radar, where it looks inside the storms. Could this, Felicia says, could this hold together and come towards downtown Knoxville? Yes, absolutely could. So if you really look at the confirmed tornado and the trajectory of that, you can see how the trajectory has kind of changed a little bit. And so I'll just take the leading edge of this, and we'll go. They said it was moving about 50 miles per hour, so we'll just do that. Give or take some time, obviously. But Clinton, 853, so it's 831 right now. Clinton at 853. This cell could be moving into your area, if not before that. That would be about 20 minutes or so. Claxton, 855. Carnes, 857. Ball Camp, 858. And High School at 859. Those are some areas that are inside, or the potential anyways, for seeing the rotation from this potential tornado moving its way on through. Let's see. Multiple questions for Morristown and Claiborne County. So Claiborne County, of course, no warnings attached to that system, as I just talked about. For Campbell and Scott County, nothing yet. We'll see what the National Weather Service does. Actually, they're issuing more stuff right now, so bear with me. Okay, so new severe thunderstorm warning coming out now for Claiborne County, Campbell County, and Union County. So that on that cell right there through Jellicoe, that is now has a severe thunderstorm warning on it. And there it is. And again, I've got the severe thunderstorm watch. I'll take that off, but you can see where we do have the severe thunderstorm watch. So if you are under a severe thunderstorm watch, just anticipate for potential severe weather from now through midnight tonight. Let me take off the watch for you because that just kind of clutters everything up. And the special weather statements. So now new severe thunderstorm warning until 9:15. That's working its way through Claiborne County, Campbell, and Union County. And so we could see upwards of hail 1 inch in diameter. Quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds are the main threat. It is moving to the east at 45 miles per hour. It is now located just to the north, about 11 miles to the north of La Follette. So La Follette, it is moving into your area, and again, will continue to track its way to the south and southeast. There's the latest information from that skit. Hail 80%, severe hail 40%, hail size about 3/4, and it's got a BTI. This is something that you'll see through the severe weather season. My in-house model, my in-house computer system has proprietary software that we use. And one of it's called the BTI, the Barron Tornado Index. So that's a 2.3. Let's come check at the Barron Tornado Index on this one. And that was a 2.5. Now, we'll see what that skit does, because that skit's going to have to update here in just a second. My wife's joining us here this evening. She's helping me out. Does Clinton need to take cover? Yeah. Let's see. Let's clear all this out. Clinton and Carnes. So again, Clinton, you do not have a tornado warning for you, or a confirmed, rather, tornado warning. That is just off to your west, but the storm is going to be moving its way into the Clinton area. Probably, let's see, the leading edge of it. No, it's going to be faster than that. The leading edge of it, let's get that on there for you. There you go. So Clinton about 8:45. So it's 8:34. So, I mean, we're talking about the leading edge of the heaviest rain in about 10 minutes. The potential for the rotating part of the thunderstorm itself is going to be a little bit longer than that. Again, starting to lose a little bit of that rotation. go back in time. You can really get an idea of how that rotation plays out. And the darker the reds and the darker the greens, the more intense it is. But you can see how we had right there. That's where we had that possible confirmed tornado right there. We were on it, and it just went through a couple of quick scans. And so when you look at the debris with that, that's where that just south of Deer Lodge is where we had that debris signature showing up. Now as we progress through time, kind of losing that intense debris signature out. Nope, there's another debris signature showing up right there. That dark shaded blue area, that is another potential debris signature. Now let's come to the radar, because I think the rain is past that. It is past that, but we definitely had debris signature showing up there. Oh, it was covered. I apologize, my friends. Let me just get rid of me. And now my microphone went off. Now you can hear me. All right, there we go. Switch cameras and switch microphones. Let's see. Let's see. We are hearing reports that there have damage reports in Sunbright right now. So damage reports are showing up in Sunbright. This is just now coming in. So folks were sheltered at the Sunbright Elementary School on the north side of town. Guessing there was a function or a game or something. I would have. Let's see. Let's see here. Yep. Okay. So let me bring it to the current time. So we are at the current time. So let me come back out a little bit more. Get our bearings here. And this is what we need to watch. So again, Sunbright, potential damage in Sunbright. When we go back to the radar, we'll go back to Sunbright. And so right there, you can see that really those darker shaded areas. Now, if I switch over to, I'm actually on the debris tracker. So we possibly have some debris or some damage right around Deer Lodge, Sunbright, along Highway 27, Annandale, Huffman. As we bring it down to the current time, again, the potential for seeing, this is not good. This right here is what we're watching right over Mahan Village. So we'll see if we get any more reports of that. We go back to the radar here to get a better idea of what's going on with the radar. And again, this is now working its way south and southeast. The latest information on this one with the newest skit showing up is showing a BTI of a 2.7 now. Hail of about 1/2 inch in diameter. Severe hail about 20%. And the shear, yeah, we've got a lot of shear in the atmosphere, and that's the problem. It is tracking to the east-southeast at 49 miles per hour. Shears of 57.5 miles per hour. So we've got strong shear out there. This is why we do have that confirmed tornado. This is why we're watching this one very closely as it continues to track its way to the south and southeast. So that's on the screen. So Whitney says, thanks, Whitney. She said Sunbright had a high school basketball game tonight. Eli says, yeah, you're absolutely right. The BTI that I've been showing you can actually be seen on the East Tennessee Weather app itself. And you can get dangerous storms approaching information. So again, the East Tennessee Weather app is going to be your best one-stop shop for weather right here in East Tennessee. Just log on to eastTNweather.com. I will put information in the chat. where you'll be able to download the links right now if you want to stay on top of this weather situation or any other weather situation as we progress through the spring months. So I'm going to drop this in the chat right now. Links to download the East Tennessee Weather app and everything else to stay in the know when we're talking weather for East Tennessee. All right, so I just dropped that in the chat. You can all check that out now in the chat. Click on the link for your cell phone, whether it's Android or iPhone. Let's see. Skylar says, is Harriman good? I believe Harriman's doing fine for now. Harriman's doing fine for now, but we have storms to our north and west, so we're going to be watching those closely. Let's see. National Weather Service has issued. Okay. That's the same one I just read. Let's get that off your screen here. We'll just put this right there. So there's the cities that are in the path of this storm with the skits right there. It is north of Petros right now, and it is tracking to the southeast at about 49 miles per hour. So the Y at 9 p.m., Lake City 901, Clinton 902, Solway 904, Claxton at 905, Norris at 906, Carnes 907, Ball Camp 908, and High School 909. Of course, 908 anyways, of course, give or take a little bit of time. If in Oak Ridge, should we head to a safe place? If you are in Oak Ridge, yes, I would head to a safe place. It looks like it may just clip to the north of you, but Oliver Springs, Petros, Oak Ridge, Blair, just on the south side of this, but that doesn't mean that you are out of the woods. So I would take shelter if you are joining us from anywhere in Anderson County right now. Anywhere in Anderson County right now. We'll go back up to Claiborne County, and let me get that severe thunderstorm warning on there again for you. So we do have a severe thunderstorm warning now until 9:15 for Claiborne County, Union, and also Campbell County. A strong cell is moving its way out of the Clarefield area into Speedwell, Powell Valley. But again, the atmosphere is primed for tornadic activity, as we have clearly already seen. All right, okay, here we go, my friends. So new tornado warning has just been issued by the National Weather Service. This runs until 9:15 p.m. This does now include the Knox County area. This does include Clinton, Claxton, Carnes, Oak Ridge, Oliver Springs, Petros, Grove, and just outside of the Solway area. Just clipping the north side of Farragut. We've got Gulf Park, Ball Camp, Bell Ridge, Powell, just outside of Powell, but does include the high school area. Clinton, Peak, Claxton, I've already said all those. Edgemore, Solway. So if you are in Anderson County and you're right around that area, you need to take shelter immediately. We now have a new tornado warning that has been issued by the National Weather Service out of Morristown that runs until 9:15. We've already seen reports of it. We've already got reports of a confirmed tornado moving its way out of Morgan County. And this is the storm that we're going to be tracking as it continues to race to the south and east, producing a lot of damage and the potential for tornadic activity. It's nighttime. It is 8:43. You're not going to be able to see any of it coming. So keep that in mind. Please, by all means, do not go out and try to chase this activity. But definitely take shelter if you are in the tornado warning. Now, listen, if you have the East Tennessee Weather app, again, it's a free download. You will be notified as long as you allow your GPS location services and you allow GPS to be turned on. You will get any sort of inclement weather, severe weather notification with the East Tennessee Weather app, and it works anywhere in the country, by the way. Andrea, thank you. Lots of thunder and lightning. 122 Norris, Clinton exit. Light rain for now. Let's see. What about UT? Kids are at a basketball game. Well, we need to watch it closely. Now, this storm is going to track its way towards the downtown area. It is moving to the south and east at 49 miles per hour. So let me just go ahead and track this for you. So it's 49 miles per hour. That's kind of the general idea. So those are the places that need to watch out. So Clinton 848, Oak Ridge 851, High School 854, Carnes 9 o'clock, Halls 9 o'clock, Ball Camp 904. Again, give or take 5 to 10 minutes. Better to be safe than sorry. That would move its way into downtown Knoxville. It's about 30 miles away, but that's the wrong time. So let me fix that for you. So this would be 50. All right, let me get that updated for you. So we'll clear that off. We'll track it again. Back edge of the storm, downtown Knoxville, 30 minutes. So this storm's going to be moving its way into downtown Knoxville in about 30 minutes. So if you have anybody at the basketball games, again, surely they're going to help. They're going to announce it over the PA system if you're going to be out anywhere. But if you're going to be out and about, if you have kids at basketball games or practices, or if you're working the late shift here tonight, just keep in mind we have a very primed atmosphere for tornadoes tonight. Even though it was, and this is proof in the pudding right here when we have confirmed tornadoes being seen around East Tennessee. Hardin Valley. So yeah, anybody in Anderson County, Hardin Valley, everybody. Now I do have some live cameras. Let's see if we can't get the Hardin Valley camera up and to show you what that looks like. See if we can get this storm off in the distance here. Let's see if that can't load. Oh, whoa, yes. Okay, so we're going to pull this on camera here. We're going to do a couple things. So bear with me here. I'm just going to do a couple things on the fly here, my friends, on the fly. All right, so there we go. That's Hardin Valley right there. He's more than welcome to. Brent, you're more than welcome to come on down if you want to. Okay, so we're just going to keep that up on the screen. That's Hardin Valley right there. That is looking to the north and northwest. So that is looking directly, that is looking directly at the storm system itself. So right there is where we're watching very closely. You've got Hardin Valley looking to the north and northwest as that storm. You can see the clouds are racing along. And that is exactly what we're going to be watching. So we're going to keep that up on camera. That right there. You can catch these live views, by the way, on the East Tennessee Weather app as well. Anything on Petros, Beach Fork Road area? Okay, you need to be in your shelter. So now we've got another skit showing up. This is right there. That's where we're getting the spin in the atmosphere. This is also another, when you ever see that circular motion showing up on the radar, that's also an indication that we have shear, debris, and there it is, my friends. So this is, okay, so here we go. Let me straighten things up here. So it's just past Buffalo right now. So Frost, Dutch Valley, Minersville, Blowing Springs, Clinton, Clinch View, Oliver Springs, everybody in this area, southeast of this storm right now, you need to take shelter right now. We have debris signatures showing up on the radar. The Doppler radar is indicating all this. My in-house model information is indicating this as well. This is where you need to take shelter. Oops, that's what I didn't want to do. Right there. That's it. Yep. All right, my friends, you need to be in your safe spot right now. Anybody in Anderson County? Anybody in Anderson County right now from Oak Ridge, Oliver Springs, Solway, north. And then if you're joining us from Carnes, and same with you folks in Carnes too. So Carnes, Claxton, High School, everybody needs to be in Anderson County. You need to be in your safe spot. Places like Knox County. Okay, so some areas in Knox County need to watch this closely. This is diving its way to the south and east. And this is one that we're going to be watching closely as it works its way into a more populated area of Anderson County and possibly also into Knox County as well. So that is what we're watching right now. Anybody in Anderson County, you need to be in your safe spot. You need to take your cell phone with you and watch the broadcast. All right. So we've got another, let's see if this is another one. That would be for Virginia. So again, we have a very primed atmosphere. We've got tornado warnings in Kentucky, Virginia, into Tennessee as well. This is all a line of activity that's going to continue to swing its way through. But when you see this, too big? There we go. Okay, yeah. No, geez. This is not what we want to see, my friends. Right here. There's your debris signature right now. You definitely need to be in your safe zones right now. Please, please, please text anybody that you know in Anderson County, from Clinton to Frost to Dossett to Oliver Springs to Oak Ridge to Edgemore, Solway. Anybody in Anderson County, you need to watch this closely. We have a very, very, very strong debris signature showing up on the radar right now. Incredibly strong debris signature showing up right here on the screen. This is just north of Frost, moving its way into Blowing Springs, Clinton. This is going to be, this is in Clinton within the next 10 minutes. So Clinton and Anderson County, you need to be in your safe zone right now. Places like Dossett, that's 7 minutes away. Peak, 12 minutes away. High School, you're less than 15 minutes away from a very strong debris signature here in East Tennessee. We do not get these kind of signatures to show up in our area very often. So we do have the camera looking off to the north and west right at that storm system. That is off of Hardin Valley Road in Hardin Valley, looking towards the storm. And this is a very serious situation that is ongoing right now. Let's go back to the radar here. Yeah. So right around Dutch Valley, Blowing Springs, this is the greatest area of concern right now, but still getting some twisting and turning showing up towards Oliver Springs right now. So again, anybody in Anderson County, you need to take shelter right now. Let me go back to the velocity here. Move the camera to the right. Yep. Yep. We can do that. All right. All right, so let's go back to this. This is B. So whenever you see this blue showing up right here, again, whenever you see that, that is likely that's the radar picking up on debris being lofted into the atmosphere. That's what that indicates. Let's see if we can't show you a 3D section of this storm. So there it is. There's your possible tornado right there on your screen. You see that right there? I don't know if this will. Right there, Laurel Grove, Dutch Valley. That's a potential tornado on the ground showing up in the 3D view of the radar. And you can see how that's, when you swing all the way around it, you can see how that's, let's see, I'm just diagnosing that. Yeah, that's what we need to watch for. Let's go back to the 2D. Yeah, we've got a really strong signature showing up in Anderson County. And that's why the correlation coefficient, which shows us vertical and horizontal parts of the atmosphere, well, it picks up on vertical and horizontal parts of the atmosphere, can pick up on the debris being lofted in the air. So that is what we're watching right now. Sorry if I'm not answering all your questions. I'm just trying to get through all the data. Hopefully I'm giving you the information that you need to keep your family safe. And we'll check the rest of East Tennessee. Again, we do still have a severe thunderstorm warning now for places. Let's see. Severe thunderstorm warning now. Continuing anyways for Claiborne County. Also Union County. Right over the Speedwell area over Powell Valley. So the possibility of half-inch diameter hail could be with us as well. And that is tracking its way to the southeast. So we're talking places like, it's over Speedwell right now. So places like Little Barron, Big Barron, Collins Mill, Lily Grove. Places like Combs and Minton Mill. And we'll go a little bit further out and we'll say places like Tazewell, Sharps Chapel, Thornhill, Rutledge, Bean Station, places in Granger County and Hamblin County. So that's a severe thunderstorm warning right now, but we have a continued tornado warning that I want to continue to track as it's moving through a very populated part of town right now. We're talking about places like Clinton and Claxton and Edgemore and into the Hardin Valley and Carnes area. Eventually, it's going to be working its way into also the Knox County area as it works its way towards downtown. We've got a basketball game going on, apparently. And so folks are going to be needing to take shelter in certain locations. Of course, you're probably pretty safe in those arenas and in some of the gymnasiums and schools around town. But we have already had a confirmed tornado, and we continue to see very strong signature of the possibility of more tornadic activity. And when you look at your 1 hour shear products, you can see how this shear right here, this storm is working its way to the southeast and has held spin together, shear, winds changing speed and direction with height. It's held it together pretty strong. And this came all the way out of northern Middle Tennessee, just to the north of Cookeville and Carthage. That's this one cell that continues to hold strong even at this hour, and it's almost 9 o'clock at night. And it's running into that very favorable environment, and that's why we have so much shear in the atmosphere. Again, that wind's changing speed and direction with height, that we are going to get the spin. And you can really see the Hardin Valley camera lighting up right now. What's that? Maryville and Blount County, or is it? Maryville is in Blount County, but nothing going on in Blount County right now. So let me show you the big picture. Let's go ahead and reset here for just a second and show you the big picture of what's going on around East Tennessee. You can clearly see we don't have a ton of activity for most of us. We've got currently we have a tornado warning for Anderson, Knox, Anderson, Knox, and Roane County until 9:15. 9:15. It's now 9:56. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning for places like Union County, Campbell, and Claiborne County that also runs until 9:15. We currently have a severe thunderstorm watch. A severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect until midnight tonight. This was issued by the Storm Prediction Center. Severe thunderstorm watch now runs until midnight tonight. This is the most favorable part of our area. Hey, Brent, you're going to be on camera if you walk in front of that wall. We've got a Witcher Weather Watcher here. Brent's joining us here. He just walked into the studio. He's my neighbor. Came down to do a little bit of helping. What's up, buddy? How are you, man? The storm is rocking and rolling. It is rocking and rolling. That is for sure. But again, it's not super widespread. It's pretty isolated in nature. But the one out of Anderson County and Morgan County is still packing a punch. The theatrics in the background here are insane. So nobody's on camera in front of the weather wall. All right, so here we go. Blowing Springs, Dutch Valley. Again, still getting some signatures there. We'll see what the National Weather Service does. Let's see. There are questions being asked if this tornado warning is going to be extended. So we'll see what the National Weather Service does. We're starting now. This is going to be interesting. All right, so something I want to watch here. Now we're starting to get into a little bit more of a classic supercell structure. Okay? So a classic supercell structure is going to be this right here. It looks like a little kidney bean, and then you get the tops to blow out over the top of it. That's a classic supercell right there. You get the inflow coming in here. You get the outflow boundary coming in on the backside of that. And right around the Claxton Carpenter Ridge area, if we were to get another spin up, that's where it's going to be. So that's going to be close to Carnes and Carpenter Ridge and Powell and Claxton and High School. So that's what we're going to need to watch, because this is now starting to show a little bit more signs of supercell thunderstorm. And that's not good, because a supercell thunderstorm with nothing else around it is likely, in a very tornado-prone area, is likely to produce more spin, more tornadoes possibly. Can I show the spin in the 3D again? Yeah, I can here in a second. So when we look at the shear product, again, we have a lot of shear in the atmosphere. So if we go to the 3D product, we'll give you an idea of what that looks like in 3D. Maybe. Oops. So we're going to come here. All right. So there's a storm in 3D. So again, we're getting now it's up. Now we're getting a new radar update. So let me just look at the new structure here real quick. All right. So with this storm, we're getting inflow. Oh, there's a new tornado. Let me get out of the 3D. Got to get out of 3D for now. New tornado warning issued now for. We're getting reports of freight train sound in Clinton as well. Hail is in progress as we speak. A freight train sound, so this is not good. Wow, geez, look at that tornado warning. National Weather Service is just going to issue a tornado warning all the way to the Smoky Mountains. All right, so there's a lot to talk about this one. Let's go ahead and get to work with this one. If you guys want to be mic'd up, you're more than welcome to be mic'd up, and I can bring you on cam. That was a big hard no from passerbys in the studio. All right, so the latest information on that new tornado warning right now. Let's see, the National Weather Service says tornado warning now for Anderson County, Knox, Jefferson, and southwestern Cott County and northern Sevier County until 9:45. At 8:58, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Clinton, moving east at 60 miles per hour. Tornado and quarter-size hail being the main threat out of this. Flying debris will be the most dangerous part of this if you're caught out without shelter. So make sure you head to your shelters. Other locations in this tornado warning area would be, let's see, Bird Crossing, Fair Garden, Strawberry Plains, Carnes, Kimberlin Heights, House Mountain State Park, McMahon, Chestnut Hill, Maloneyville, and Lake Forest. You guys don't have to whisper. This microphone doesn't pick it up. This includes the following highways: Interstate 40 between mile marker 384 and 435. Also Interstate 75 between mile markers 108 and 122. If you are in this tornado warned area, you need to take cover. You got a little bit of time if you're joining us from Sevierville and Newport and Dandridge and Douglas Lake. But it is racing to the southeast at, what did I say, 50 miles an hour? So that puts it at Douglas Lake at about within 45 minutes. Dandridge within 45 minutes. Holston Hills within 20 minutes. Downtown Knoxville within 15 minutes. Strawberry Plains within 30 minutes. Halls, it's on top of you with the heavy rain right now. Severe weather potential, yeah, between now and about 15 minutes. Farragut, you're probably okay for now, but we will continue to track in what's going on in and around Oak Ridge as this all dives its way southward. So Farragut, you're likely to get some heavier rain and heavier downpours with the potential for some severe weather within the next 10 to 15 minutes. So we have a lot going on with severe weather coverage right now. Let's see. So Tony says, Sevier County just got a code red alert for a tornado warning. You are right. And there is that tornado warning. It does include Sevierville. So we've got places like Newport, Dandridge, Douglas Lake, of course, Sevierville, Kodak, Seymour, Thornton Grove, Strawberry Plains. We've got places like House Mountain up towards Corrington, Ritta, over by Ritta Elementary School, Holston Hills, Knoxville, of course, Fountain City, Halls, Carnes, places like Powell and Lazy Acres. Now we're going to call out some neighborhoods. Solway, you're just on the south side of that. Carnes, you're in the middle of it. And again, we're getting a little bit more of a supercell structure showing up with this. Sounds of freight trains out there. And $50 hail being reported in Clinton as we speak. So, you know, one thing that we'll watch for, if these cells on the back side, if this stuff didn't come into play, this storm would be all by itself. And that would not be a good situation. The fact that we have actually a little bit more activity coming into Oak Ridge, Blair, Carnes area on the west side of that system, that could potentially be a benefit, because it's going to help dissolve some of that energy out of that storm. But with that said, we have a classic supercell structure. So you have your hail core right here, right around the high school area. You've got your inflow notch coming in right around the Powell area. You're probably getting a lot of warm, moist air coming in from Powell, Fountain City, Arlington, Crowster Heights. You're probably getting some very warm, moist air coming in. And then on the backside of that, places like Claxton, Peak, Clinch View, Carpenter Ridge, Carnes, you're probably getting some colder air now coming in on the backside of that, and the hail core is showing up right there in the center of that storm. That's where also the heaviest rain is going to be. The heaviest rain is going to be towards Paulette, Beech Grove, Bainbury Hills, Halls. So you get the heavier rain there, hail core there, inflow notch on the backside of that on the southern side. That's near high school? All right, let's go back to the velocity product here. So let's see what our debris looks like. So we're still getting debris signatures showing up, so that's not good. Debris signatures are these blues that show when everything looks the same around it, like here and here and here, all the reds, and then you get a blue dot. That's the debris signature using the correlation coefficient, and that lets us know that debris is likely being lofted. Something's being lofted in the atmosphere that the Doppler radar is picking up. Something that have different sizes and structures. Rain looks the same. Rain's all the dark reds. That's the same structure. It's the same size. When you start to get different size objects being lofted in the atmosphere, that's what correlation coefficient does, and it picks up on that. When we look at the shear product, there's our in-house shear product that you're not going to get everywhere. This is something that I have access to with East Tennessee weather. So we have a lot of shear, a lot of winds changing speed and direction with height over towards High School, Bell Ridge, Edgemore. The National Weather Service is saying rotation is starting to tighten up west of Powell. No gate-to-gate shear or debris signature as of right now, but a strong signature is starting to tighten up right around the Powell area. Okay, this is where he's talking about. Okay, so what you're seeing here, remember, red is always away from the radar. That means the air is moving away from the radar. So the radar is in the top right-hand center of your screen. Red is like taillights of a car. Just think of taillights of a car. Red is away. Green is toward the radar. And here is your broad spin in the atmosphere. So if we were to get something to tighten up and to spin up, it's going to be right around Powell, Bell Ridge. It's going to be a smaller area. We'll see what the next radar scan does. But the National Weather Service is saying it's starting to tighten up a little bit. And when you look at the shear products that are available to East Tennessee weather, that's not good either. So whenever you start to get a little bit of an S shape with the shear products, that means it is strengthening, tightening, and that is dangerous. So again, if you're anywhere east of High School, Powell, Carnes, you're underneath that tornado warning, you need to take shelter immediately, if not sooner than later. Again, the National Weather Service has issued a very, very large tornado warning because the storm is racing to the southeast at 50 miles per hour. Again, that S shape that you're seeing right there with the shear product is not a good sign. And then when you look at the velocity product, we do have that matches all up. So let me do something here for you. We're going to go to a 4-box. Okay, we're going to go to a 4-box here. Maybe. There it is. All right, so we're going to do a couple things. You're going to see 4 different products on the screen. Okay, so in the top right, we'll put radar. Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll get rid of this camera for now. All right, top right, we're going to put radar. Top left, we got radar. In the top right, we are going to put your shear rate. That's the spin in the atmosphere. In the bottom, we'll keep that at velocity. And in the bottom right, we will put, we'll do rainfall rates. So this, my friends, is what we're talking about. Okay, so this, when the map moves, you can definitely see. So when I circle something, this will give you a better indication of what we're looking at. So here is your broad rotation. Okay, so you can kind of see how that's looking on the radar. We're pretty much in the exact spot that I was talking about with the inflow on the radar. So that's where the tornado would pop up. Well, guess what? That's where the shear product is popping up. Now, that's not where the heaviest rain is. Lighter rain there. Heaviest rain's on the north side of a supercell thunderstorm. And again, this is looking more and more classic of a supercell and more of a single cell tornado kind of event. So that's something that we will continue. We're going to continue to stay on the storm all the way through the evening. Brent, you seen anything, bud? Brent? Anything from the What's Your Weather Watchers or anything? I know Tom's in like Powell area. Is Tom saying anything? I can't keep up with everything. So I got some winter weather watchers joining us, and so we're here to keep you up to date. But again, Lee says high wind, heavy rain. He's in right around the Powell area. So Lee, you need to be taking cover in Powell right now. Now again, broad rotations showing up. We don't have that gate to gate shear, but we do have a tornado warning. So places like Cedar Flats, Black Oak, Pleasant Ridge, Coaster Yards, Fountain City, Greenway, Arlington, Harrell Hills, Beverly Acres all take shelter immediately. Even downtown Knoxville. Watch this closely. Do not be out and about in downtown Knoxville. Don't get into your cars after maybe the basketball game. Is the basketball game over yet? Who knows? But don't get in your cars and start driving down Interstate 40 or 75 or 640. This is moving its way into downtown, into the central part of Knox County, into a very populated area. A tightening rotation starting to show up, and we have a Witcher Weather Watcher that's going to join us here. So hold on. Stand by, Tom. We'll get you on camera here in just a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nope, you can't hear me. Tom, can you hear me now? All right. Getting mics muted and stuff like that. All right. So I don't know if your microphone's working. You're in Powell. You want to give us an update?
It is.
You are live and on air, buddy.
Good afternoon, Tennessee.
It's
Looks like
evening,
the storm is
Tom.
actually. Sorry. Good evening, East Tennessee. Looks like the storm is actually passing over Carnes and Powell now. We've got sustained winds of 12 gusting 20. Rain is coming in uh, at an inch an hour. Winds picking up. Heavy downpour here in the West Emory Road near the Washington Heights and the Bella Tower communities.
Okay. So kind of talking about this area. So let me take myself off camera here for a second, Tom. I'm going to leave you on. So Tom's been talking about this area, right? So there's Powell. Say some of the other areas you were talking about, Tom.
Right. So Powell Road, so Powell Carnes area, West Emory Road, Big Cross area would be Clinton Highway, and West Emory Road is the big intersection.
Okay.
Uh,
Are you listening to the scanners?
I've got I'm a ham radio operator, so I've got the local Skywarnet up in the background.
All right, gotcha. So have you heard of any new reports coming in out of say now we're starting to get another have you had any reports coming in from say right around where we had the confirmed tornado warning earlier?
Not yet. I haven't heard anything across the Hamnet. They're asking about confirmation of debris here. We're still waiting for those reports to come in.
Okay. Awesome, Tom. I appreciate it, man. Again, are you out of the woods? Has this already passed you? Or are you just going to get into it?
It's overhead now. The actual spin is just north of me.
The actual spin is just north of you?
Yep.
Okay. Awesome, Tom. I appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us and giving us a report. Again, a Witcher Weather Watcher here this evening with East Tennessee Weather. And if you want to become a Witcher Weather Watcher, you can at any time. All you have to do is just hit me up, Mike at eastTNweather.com. We'll get you all the information if you want to join and be a storm spotter for East Tennessee Weather and the Witcher Weather Watchers. All right, let's go back to the radar. Thanks, Tom, for that. I do appreciate you. Let's come back here. Let's keep up with the National Weather Service. Let's see. Tornado warning coming out momentarily for that storm in Claiborne County. All right, so there's a tornado warning coming out in Claiborne County for this storm right now. Currently have a severe thunderstorm warning, but the National Weather Service is saying, hey, listen, we're going to issue a tornado warning with this one. Let's check in on debris. So no debris there. Let's check in on shear. There's your shear product, and so that's why they're going to issue a tornado warning for this. So Claiborne County heads up, a tornado warning coming down momentarily for Claiborne County. from the National Weather Service. Got a lot of shear showing up in Claiborne County as well. And so this storm, let's pick this part of the storm. This storm right here will be New Tazewell 9:15. Well, that's like right now. Thornhill 9:29 and Bean Station at 9:39. Again, this is racing to the south and southeast. Once the warning pops up, I will give you the latest information on that. It takes a while to get into the system. But we've got severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings in southwest Virginia, not West Virginia, but Southwest Virginia. Here's that storm coming into Fountain City. So we're going to stay on top of this one. This one's moving into a very populated area in Knox County from Fountain City and, again, the Powell area. Still have a lot of spin showing up. This is our rotation tracker with East Tennessee weather. And when you look at the rotation with it, still have broad rotation. Still looks impressive, but this is the broad rotation right here. So we just don't have any gate-to-gate shear yet, which means a really tightening. So what we're going to look for is really tightening right around Inskip, Arlington, Black Oak, North Hills, Greenway. And again, the storm's racing, so it's already past certain areas. Radar data is anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes old. So that's why we always have to talk about what's going on out ahead of it. We can't always talk about what's going on at the exact moment of time because radar data is old the second it comes out. Say that again? Who? Oh, Powell should be taking cover. Yeah. Powell's on the backside of it. Powell, you're probably okay. Let me go back to the radar. So Powell, you're okay. Let me call out a few people that are probably okay temporarily anyways. We'll go Halls, High School, Clinton, Powell. You're on the back. You're just on the backside of this, so I think you're fine. We'll go Blueberry. Let's see. Paulette, Norris, Lake City, Clinton, Claxton. You're probably okay. But folks that need to stay weather alert for the rest of the evening is going to be anybody out ahead of this system. So we'll go places like West Hills, downtown Knoxville. It's moving into downtown Knoxville now we're starting to get a little bit more of a spin up here. Let me go back to this. So we're starting to get a little bit more of a tightening, and you can really see that on the radar. Curious to see what this does. This would be Ben's saying what? In where? Gibbs? So Gibbs is reporting a consistent roar of noise. That's what they say. That's what they say tornadoes sound like. It sounds like a freight train. I want to take you back to... Oh, shoot. I want to take you back to... I want to throw that camera back up on here for a second because we've got some... let's see. Where's Oak Ridge? Okay, so Oak Ridge is out of it, so I'm just going to keep moving on. So, all right. So this is the supercell thunderstorm that we're going to watch closely. We do have supercell structure showing up with it. We have a tornado warning associated with this. This is moving its way into downtown Knoxville as we speak. And this is where we have a lot of shear, a lot of spin in the atmosphere. So the possibility of some wind damage from Fountain City to Caswell, Holston Hills, downtown Knoxville. So anybody out ahead of that. So let's just keep going down the road from Thorn Grove to Kodak, Seven Islands, Asbury, McMahon. We've got Seymour in the path of this. Again, I'm just kind of talking about this system. Obviously, places like Strawberry Plains, House Mountain, Friends Station, Flat Gap, Dandridge are possibly on the north side of the system, but we'll see what this does. Supercell thunderstorms are typically right turners. They turn right. And so that's why this is kind of veering a little bit further to the south and southeast from what we were even talking about a little bit ago as well. Let's see. Buddy of mine, meteorologist Nick. What's up, Nick? Storm relative velocity showing around 70 inbound and 40 outbound. 70 outbound, 40 inbound on the main storm. Bean height around 2,000 feet. Keep up with the good work. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you. He does exactly what I do down in Louisiana. So if you're ever in Louisiana, hit Nick up. And a great guy, Nick McAllis. All right, here we go. So let's check in on the storm. Okay, there's our latest tornado warning now for just outside of Tazewell. So now we've got Lone Mountain. So it's right around the Lone Mountain area. So Dotson, Avondale Springs, Thornhill, Bean Station, Crosby, Edgewood, Morristown. You are also included in this tornado warning. Bel Air, Cane Mill, and Needmore. Let's see. Anywhere in between those locations, you are now currently in a tornado warning. This tornado warning runs until 10 o'clock for places in Hamblen County as well as Claiborne County and Granger County. So Hamblen, Granger, and Claiborne County all under a tornado warning until 10 o'clock. The current time is now 9:20. So we've got 2 tornado warnings now going around the area. We're watching more storms coming in out of southwest Virginia and southeastern Kentucky that will continue to cause issues up into upper East Tennessee, so near the Kingsport area and the Tri-Cities area. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings right now for Kingsport into the Churchill, Burgoynesville area, Gate City. So severe thunderstorm warning right now until 10 o'clock for places like Hawkins, Washington, Sullivan counties, and Hawkins County. And this is all coming in out of southwest Virginia. So we're going to watch that for you folks in upper East Tennessee. The one coming out of Claiborne County, moving its way into Granger and also Hamblen County, a tornado warning now in effect until 10 o'clock. We do have some shear showing up with that and spin showing up in the atmosphere. So we need to watch this one closely. We'll track that for you. So places, Thornhill, about 9:32. It's now 9:21. Thornhill, 9:30. New skit just came out. And Bean Station, about 9:40. That would put Morristown. That would put places like Morristown at about 9:40 or so. And yeah, about 9:40 or so would be Morristown. Rutledge, you were just on the south side of the system. So Rutledge, you likely, if this were to kind of creep your way, I mean, you're like 5 to 10 minutes away from it being really on top of you. And when you look at the radar, you can see that we do have some heavier rain up just to our north. And again, we need to watch inside the storm. Where we do have the greatest extent of the storm is the one moving its way into downtown Knoxville. Right now, Holston Hills, Caswell, Armida, Midway, Kodak heads up. So the locations on this, again, Chilhowie Hills, 927. Holston Hills, 928. That's basically right now. Thorn Grove, 937. Strawberry Plains, 938. Seymour at 939. Kodak, 942. And Sevierville, 949. Again, give or take 10 minutes or so. This storm currently has a BTI of a 2.8, but we'll see when the skit catches up and see if we can't get a little bit more data from that. And those are all the Barron Products storm skits, so that's good. Let's see what the National Weather Service wanted to do. So that's going to catch up here in just a second. But this is the storm that has been racing its way across from Middle Tennessee. When you look at your shear all from this storm, I mean, it stretches all the way back, all the way through Morgan County into Livingston, all the way back into northern Middle Tennessee. So this is one cell that is really held together the entire time. And so if we could get it to line out a little bit, it would be less impactful. And it looks like we're starting to lose some of that supercell structure a little bit. We'll get inside that storm and look at the shear products with this. Again, we don't really have any gate-to-gate shear, meaning the shear is tightening up a little bit. So we've got 72 miles an hour on the north side of that, 37 on the back side of that. The spin in this is going to essentially be right around here. So Machina Heights, Holston Hills, just south of Holston Hills, north of Asbury. Riverdale would be basically in the path of this. Kimberlin Heights, Seven Islands, Peters Mill. So we've got Island Home in South Knoxville. Lots of questions about downtown. The good news is just to the downtown area. So let me switch to the radar. So downtown Knoxville getting walloped with heavy rain, but I don't necessarily see anything major so far. But also with that said, let me go back to the radar. And you can see how these storms are kind of just lining up from Knoxville through Anderson County back into Morgan and Cumberland County. So I think we're going to get a little bit more of a southerly trajectory with this. And as we loop this over the last 1 hour, you can really get an idea of how these are shifting a little bit further to the south and southeast. So we've already had a confirmed tornado earlier Of course, National Weather Service will have to go out and assess the damage. And they will probably do that tomorrow to see actually what, if anything at all. But again, confirmed tornado was earlier. Now we have a tornado warning that continues until 10 o'clock here tonight for places around Knox County all the way to the southeast, from Sevier through Cott County, all the way into Jefferson County and Knox County as well. So downtown Knoxville is getting heavy rain. I don't necessarily see anything major for tornado potential. I think that's going to be over to your east, over towards Holston Hills. And let's see, right along Interstate 40. So Interstate 40 between downtown Knoxville, basically, and Kodak, which is exit 407. So we have exit 407 right here on your screen. I'll circle it. There's Kodak and exit 407 technically. I guess that's not technically it, but anyways, and then we've got you got 640. Here's Interstate 40 that runs from east to west. You've got 11E up that runs here, 25W that runs up there. So again, this is east now of downtown Knoxville, and it's working its way towards Sevier County. What other questions you got? Yeah, Dollywood. Oh, gotcha. Okay, so if you're joining us from the basketball game, if the game's still on or if the game's over, I'm not quite sure. Again, what'd you say? Say that one more time? Oh, Morristown. Yeah, so downtown Knoxville, heavy rain. I would say if you can just kind of hang tight, probably travel's not advised. We do technically have a tornado warning for that part of town, but the bulk of the storm, the major part of the storm, is off to our east. However, as I mentioned earlier, when you look at the different kind of shear spin in the atmosphere, we still have more spin in the atmosphere. So you can see we have spin showing up right now over the Holston Hills on the east side of downtown Knoxville. We've got spin showing back up in Claxton and a little bit more spin showing up in Oliver Springs and Oak Ridge. And so these are the areas that we need to watch for because, again, we are in a very primed part of the atmosphere and the evening as well. All right, got another weather watcher joining us here this evening. So let's go ahead and see if we can't bring Lee to the conversation here in just a second. Lee, I will bring you. Lee, nod your head if you can hear me. Maybe he's frozen. Lee may be frozen. Can you text Lee for me, Brent, and see if he's wanted to chime in? Either he's really still or he's frozen. All right. Constant heavy rain, Elise. Thanks, Elise. Constant heavy rain and lightning in Straw Plains right now. Brianna Butler, Newport, please. Newport. Newport is under a tornado warning. You are probably Newport, if this were to hold together, probably about 30 minutes. So we'll just say about 30 minutes, this cell, the storm, will be in Newport. And so that's what we're talking about. So about 30 minutes in Newport. Any other towns? Heard Seymour had sirens going off near the school. Yeah, well, they're under a tornado warning. So there's Seymour, bottom center of your screen. So there's Seymour right there. Sirens apparently are being reported going off in the Seymour area, as they should, because we have a tornado warning for Seymour, Sevierville, Douglas Lake, Dandridge, Bainbury, Newport, Kodak, Strawberry Plains, and then other locations, Seven Islands. Anybody traveling Chapman Highway. Travel, again, is not advised here. Listen, check in with the East Tennessee Weather app and the interactive radar. It's a great tool giving you past, current, and future radar of 2 hours. So if you're getting hammered, if you're getting ready to hit the road, say you're in Fountain City, Claxton, and you need to leave, check in on the interactive radar with the East Tennessee Weather app, and the future cast of 2 hours will give you a good idea. Speaking of which, I can do that right here as well. So let's come to Lee lost internet. Oh, okay. There he is. He's coming back, though. Lee's coming back here in a second. We'll bring Lee to the conversation here in a moment. But here's your futurecast radar. So picking up on the storms out there right now. If I click on reflectivity, there's a storm And here's our future cast. Pretty solid, right? So let's take this over time. I'm just going to push play. This is a 2-hour. This is 2 hours. So this is a 2-hour radar loop of potentially what could happen based on what is currently happening. So this would be the heaviest part of the cell will be moving over Douglas Lake, probably 9:55 in about 30 minutes or so, 20, 30 minutes. Newport, probably about 10 to 10:15. It would be moving into your area. And then on the backside of that, those other cells pushing back into Halls and Carnes and Oak Ridge and downtown Knoxville again. That, again, all the way through the midnight hour, we have the potential for seeing tornadoes because we have a lot of spin in the atmosphere. All right, here's the latest tornado warning. That does include... wait, is this the new tornado warning? No, this is the one we talked about just a moment ago. All right, so tornado warning now for places like Morristown, Barton Springs, Dover, Needmore, Crosby. It's going to move its way right over Norris Lake. And so Indian Hills, Helton, Beans, Avondale, Thornhill, and Bean Station, all under a tornado warning at this current time. And this tornado warning runs until 10 o'clock. It is now currently 30. Let's see what's going on for the Tri-Cities area. Tri-Cities, we do have heavier downpour showing up in the Tri-Cities area right now. And a severe thunderstorm warning for the Tri-Cities area. Leela says, what about UT? Let's go down to UT, like UT Medical Center, UT College. I guess they're all about the same because they're right next to each other. So heavy rain. So here's Knox. So let me zoom in. I have Neyland Stadium. There's Neyland Stadium right there. I'll circle Neyland Stadium for you so you can get a good idea. Oops. Now we'll zoom out. So there's Neyland Stadium, downtown Knoxville. Heavy rain just to the north. This is going to track its way over the area. And again, a tornado warned area. And so UT Medical Center, UT campus, all under a tornado warning right now. And so let's check in on the shear products again. So we've got a lot of shear showing up now, showing up right around the Riverdale area, Asbury. So Kimberlin Heights, Seven Islands, Union Valley, Boyd's Creek. If I'm calling out your cities, your towns, your names, your communities, take shelter immediately. Kodak, Midway, Henry Crossing, Union Grove, Alder Branch, Catlettsburg, and Sevierville. And here's the latest update. So let's go back to the velocity product because now we're getting, okay, there we go. There's more of your gate-to-gate shear. This is not what we want to see. You saw that with the shear product. So again, if you're joining us right now from Seven Islands, Union Valley, Boyd's Creek, McMahon, Beach Springs, take shelter immediately. Kodak, same with you, because now we're getting a tightening of this storm. This is where, if a tornado were to form, this is basically right where it would be developing, would be right here. So obviously we can't concentrate on exactly what's going on right now because that radar data is already old, even though we just got it. And so with that, let's move right over the river. So we got Riverdale, Seven Islands. Let's see what else is out here. Boyd's Creek, Alder Branch, Highway 66, Beach Springs, Kodak, Union Grove. Okay, so Highway 66 is the parkway. That's exit 407 that takes you to Sevierville and eventually into Veterans Parkway up towards Dollywood. So if you're joining us in this tornado warned area, you need to take shelter immediately. That would be Sevierville. That would be Kodak. That would be places like Dollywood and well, not necessarily Pigeon Forge. You don't need to. So far, you're so good in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, so you're good there. This is encompassing, or this encompasses, I should say, covers Interstate 40, and the strongest part of the system is now south of Interstate 40. So the strongest part of the system is now south of Interstate 40, right around Seven Islands. All right, let's go back up to Granger County. We're getting a debris signature showing up in Granger County. So let's go. Yep, Bean Station, Granger County. I'm coming your way. Confirmed tornado now. National Weather Service has now issued a confirmed tornado in Granger County. Let's see what they say. Debris signature on Granger County storm west of Bean Station. So Bean Station, you need to take shelter immediately. This is going to be west of Bean Station. And so there's the latest information. Bean Station 941, you need to be in your safe spot right now. Whitesburg. Julie in Whitesburg, one of our Witcher weather watchers, 954. Keep me posted. Bulls Gap, 958, and Mohawk, 1003. Lee, I'll get to you in a second here, buddy. We need to concentrate on this confirmed tornado warning right now. So stand by, please. But we'll get to you. We'll get to you soon. So again, we have a confirmed tornado. A lot of shear showing up. So this is moving its way right over. So this is just to the west of Bean Station and Timbercrest and Drinnen Heights and Casablanca. So this is going to be moving its way over Cherokee Lake on the northern side of Cherokee Lake. We've got some beautiful part of the country right there. A beautiful part of East Tennessee. But a confirmed tornado right now just outside of Bean Station, and that's exactly where we're seeing all of the spin in the atmosphere and the shear. This storm right now, by the way, has a BTI of a 4.7. The BTI goes to 10, just an FYI. 4.7 is high. And when you're starting to see the rotation showing up in that, and we'll get better scans here coming from the radar in just a little bit. And the good news is the radar is really close. The radar is right there in the bottom center of your screen. You can kind of see the cone of silence right there. That's where the radar is. It's never going to pick up anything right there. But that's very close to where we are talking about up here. And so that's what, so we're going to get a better idea because it's going to shoot lower in the atmosphere. And we'll get a better idea of exactly what this is going to do. Has it passed South Knoxville? I'll go back to the radar here a second. Bean Station, we'll stick with you here. Just give me 1 second. We still have tornado warnings. Okay, hold on a second because we've got 7 islands. So now we've got a BTI on this storm of a 2.9. And the one north of that is, that's moving its way towards Sevierville. So that's Kodak at 943, Sevierville 949, Douglas Lake 954, and Pittman Center 1004. Yeah, the BTI, just FYI. So the BTI is a Barron Tornado Index signature. It's a number. And so what that does is it's an in-house proprietary product that gives us an idea on really what that storm's doing. Do we really need to concentrate on it? And the answer is yes. When you start to get BTIs of over 3, you need to start paying attention. Look at the hail sizes out of this as well. Anywhere from, could see upwards of 1.25 inches hail sizes. The shear on this is incredible, 69 miles per hour, and it's tracking to the southeast, east-southeast anyways, at 47 miles per hour. That's the one moving just outside of Knoxville. So again, Knox County, South Knoxville, Fountain City, Claxton, all in the thick of it. Heavy rain right now. No severe weather for you folks in Fountain City or Carnes. Heavy rain getting ready to move its way into downtown Knoxville, and the potential for severe weather. Because we still have some shear showing up on that one. A stronger product of shear showing up towards Kodak, along Interstate 40, moving its way into Sevierville, and even stronger up to our north, where we do have now the purple indicates a confirmed tornado warning until 10 o'clock for Granger County, Hamlin County, and Hawkins County. A confirmed tornado warning right now. Right now, we've got a pretty good, strong signature showing up near Bean Station. So you need to be in your shelters in Bean Station. Helton, whenever you get this little hook with the shear products, that's incredible amounts of spin. So Indian Hills, Crosby, Lakeshore Estates, Cabin. Let's get a little closer to the lake. Let's get to some communities. So we've got Mary Chapel, Indian Hills, Timbercrest, Crosby along Highway 32 that runs right over Cherokee Lake, Drinnen Heights, Corbin Estates, Mountain View Meadows, Cherokee Park, Lakeshore Estates. We've got Wyatt Village, Needmore, Whitesburg. Let's see, we've got Barton Springs, Pineville, Morristown, Gabby Hills. So these are all areas right around Cherokee Lake that need to be taking shelter as soon as possible. What's that? Julie, Witcher Weather Watcher, is joining us from the basement. She's taking shelter. Yeah, she's taking shelter in the basement. Julie, you're more than welcome to join us and let us know what's going on in your area. Hey, Lee, if you... I think Lee's frozen again. He had a lightning strike, kind of knocked his power out. Talbot is just rain right now. So when you go out to the big picture, we are in the bullseye right now, East Tennessee, for a confirmed tornado warning, a tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning. So we've got 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, a confirmed tornado warning, and also just a tornado warning. Not just a tornado warning. All right, let's go down to Sevier County. We'll start on the southern end of this. We'll work our way northward. Let's start south. We'll work north. We've got a tornado warning right now for Sevier County and Cott County, as well as Jefferson and Knox County. It all runs until 9:45. So for another another 5 minutes. It's 9:40 right now, so we'll see what the National Weather Service does with this one. Let's see real quick. The Bean Station storm had rotation on the Bean Station storm has definitely weakened significantly. Looks like the debris signature stopped around 11W and Highway 25 interchange. We'll give it another scan or so and revisit the confirmed tag and warning in general. So they're going to let the radar do its scan, do its thing. Then they'll come back to that storm here in just a second. So let's start south. Tornado warning, like I said, Kodak, Holston Hills, Thorn Grove, Douglas Lake. We've got Sevierville, Newport, Bainbury, Strawberry Plains. The strongest part of the storm is now south of Kodak and moving its way over the Parkway. So we're getting ready to push this. So this is Henry Crossroads. You're going to have Sevierville at the bottom center of your screen. Got Alder Branch, Union Grove, Douglas Lake. Of course, it's going to be working its way towards Douglas Lake, Harrisburg, and Reagantown. So right there at Beach Springs, south of Kodak, south now of Interstate 40, moving its way over the river and over the Parkway just to the north of Sevierville. That's where we have a lot of spin in the atmosphere. We don't necessarily have any debris showing up with that system. Now, what you might be seeing out ahead of it, when you start to see a little bit of debris signatures showing up with the correlation coefficient, it doesn't really necessarily say that things are being lofted in the atmosphere. You need those little blue dots to show up when you have everything uniform around it. Just like the little blue dot I'm drawing right there on the screen, everything's uniform around it. Little blue dot lets us know that things are being lofted in the atmosphere. But with that said, we've got very strong winds showing up, and so we possibly are getting some radar returns to show things being lofted up. So let me look at the winds associated with that. Oh, well, yeah, there we go. Winds are picking up everything yeah. So we're seeing up in the atmosphere. It's going to be probably, let's see here. Large hail in Kodak. So that storm just outside of Sevierville is shooting just about 1,000 feet off the ground. And so those 100-mile-per-hour winds, just 1,000 feet off the ground, likely being transferred to the surface, which is why we're seeing blue show up now right around Milliken Grove, Alder Branch, Union Hill. The potential for stuff being lofted into the atmosphere, and the Doppler radar picking that up.
Heavy rain and winds off of Thorn Grove Pike. They can't even see outside.
Say that once.
Heavy rains and wind off of Thorn Grove Pike. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, heavy rain off of and strong winds off Thorn Grove Pike. Thanks to Cynthia. All right. So that's the storm south of us. Let's move our way northward. So there's the radar product. So we're still holding on to a solid supercell structure. That's the thing with this system. This actually continues to hold on. You have your supercell structure basically right here. I mean, it's a classic. You get your inflow right here, right around Alder Branch, Union Hill, Sevierville. So Sevierville, take cover. Head to your safe spot right now in Sevierville. Because this is just to the north of you, And this is going to be tracking its way. Let's do our future scan. So this is our future scan, picking up on what's going on out there right now. So Sevierville, I mean, does it bypass just to the north of you like our future scan is indicating? Or does it shift a little bit further to the south? Because whenever you get strong thunderstorms like this, they're typically right turners. Oh, they can turn right anyways. Left turners too. And so we'll have to watch out for that one right there. But that's a classic supercell structure on that one. Not necessarily the case back behind it. All right, up towards Bean Station, Whitesburg. Let's head back to that storm right now. And we'll check in. Eli, I saw you just tune in here for just a second, or stand by, buddy. I'll try to get to you here in a little bit. All right, so we got quite a bit of shear up towards the Crosby area and into Bean Station, Morristown, Whitesburg. So quite a bit of shear showing up. Do we have any debris signatures? Not necessarily. And we have lost a little bit of that, or quite a bit of that rotation, and quite a bit. Saw the shear showing up, moving right over Cherokee Lake right now. Crosby, south of Wyatt Village. There are some new skits now showing up. So the BTI is now showing up as a 2.6 for both of those. So that's a Barron Tornado Index, a 2.6. The BTI down with this storm is a BTI of 2.9. So a little bit of a higher BTI. National Weather Service, all right, issuing now severe thunderstorm warnings for Hawkins and Washington County, as well as Sullivan County until 10 o'clock tonight. They have now just issued a severe thunderstorm warning on that tornado warning over towards Bean Station. Now a severe thunderstorm warning until 10:30. That is for Greene County, Hawkins, as well as Hamlin counties. So new severe thunderstorm warning. All right. So now we're asking about the backside of the storm. So let's go back to the big picture. I do think that, listen, if you are, if you're north of Wartburg, so I would say, let me just check the national picture here for a second. Make sure there's nothing crazy upstream. No, I think this is going to be it. So I would imagine it's 9:47. I would imagine once this all wraps up, we will start to see improving conditions. So let's call out folks that could possibly go to bed, but probably a good idea to have your NOAA Weather Radio or the East Tennessee Weather app ready to go, just in case something does spark up after this. But I think this is going to be the extent of it. So we'll go Fentress and Cumberland County. You can go to bed if you want to go to bed. Sunbright, you probably are good, although some folks are probably cleaning up around Sunbright right now. Wartburg, you're probably good to go to bed. Harriman, Blair, Oak Ridge, Kingston, and Clinton, I'd hang tight for a little bit longer. Lake City, Caryville, La Follette, up towards Campbell County and Scott County, you can go to bed. Union County and also Claiborne County, you're probably likely to go to bed, but keep those alerts ready to go just to be on the safe side. I would say places like Granger County, you're probably good as well. Where we're going to need to watch closely, though, is places like Roane County. Anderson still, Knox still, Blunt, Sevier, Loudoun County, Monroe County. Still need to watch those counties closely. Also towards Greenville, Telford, still not out of the woods yet, so don't hang up your hat and go to bed yet. But Claiborne County, you're probably out of the woods as of right now. So we've got three cells we're watching right now. One towards the Tri-Cities area, where Eli is getting some very strong winds up there. So Eli, here, I'll bring you up here in just a second. All right, Eli. I don't know if you can talk, if you can hear me, but you've got your video live on East Tennessee Weather right now, buddy. And Eli, can you hear me, bud? Maybe not. Nope, we just lost Eli. All right, we'll bring him back in a little bit. But there he is. He's coming back. All right, Eli, we got pouring rain up towards the Kingsport area. You want to give us an update? All right. Well, apparently Eli is losing power. Eli, you're live on the camera right now if you want to talk. Well, that video where Eli is right there is at Church Hill. So he is in the middle of it right there. So Church Hill, where that video is coming from, is Mount Carmel and Church Hill. Heavy rain near Beardstown, Kingsport, Morris City. That video is from Eli Bray, one of the Witcher weather watchers up near the Tri-Cities area. Heavy rain showing up in Tri-Cities right now. And a severe thunderstorm warning. The National Weather Service has now canceled the tornado warning. Let's see. National Weather's no more. There's not a tornado warning for Bean Station anymore. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for Bulls Gap, Mohawk, Mossheim, Greenville, Afton in Greene County, as well as Hamlin County and Hawkins County. And then further to the south of this storm, right over Douglas Lake, incredible amounts of rain right over Douglas Lake, still holding on to this classic supercell. I've got lots of reports of damage near Deer Lodge per local fiber optic provider on Facebook. Getting some reports coming through. But again, this cell right here, Douglas Lake, is a classic supercell. Definitely needs to continue to be watched. We still have a tornado warning on that, and the BTI is now up to a 3.5. That's a Barron Tornado Index number, and a 3.5 is getting on the higher side. So now we'll switch over to a couple of other products to get an idea of how this storm is playing out, what it's doing, how it's interacting. And we've got a lot of the shear products showing up, so we still have a lot of spin. When you look at the velocity product on this, looking inside the storm itself, again, nothing too crazy right now, but this is the area that we're going to be watching. Let's see if we get that on right here. The place where I circled. So Harrisburg, Walnut Grove, Bird Crossroad, Crockettsville, heads up. All areas along Highway 411 between Sevierville and Bird Crossroad. Highway 411 between Sevierville and Baileytown. That's an area of concern. So anybody along Highway 411, Cherokee Hills, Sevierville, you need to be in your safe zones and your safe spots. That video you're seeing on the left-hand side of your screen is associated with a storm up into the Tri-Cities area. All right, Eli, I'm going to take that off for a little bit because we've got other stuff I'm going to walk folks through that they couldn't see. Again, this is the more concerning storm right now. Still have it for a severe tornado warning continues for Sevier County as well as Jefferson County, and a BTI, which is the Barron Tornado Index value of a 3.5 on that one. This one's got a Barron Tornado Index also a value of a 3.5. So again, this is a supercell thunderstorm that continues to slide its way, race off to the southeast anyways at about 35 to 40 miles per hour, showing signs of rotation. It is held together. It has held its shape and structure together. It hasn't had anything to compete with. And so when you get these supercell thunderstorms, they just don't have anything to compete with. Now, we do have storms back off to our west. And did they just issue something else? Did they extend it? Yeah, they extended. The tornado warning now has been extended until 10:30 and now stretches all the way towards Del Rio. So now fully incorporates Newport, Del Rio. This is going to include Interstate 40 up over the mountains into North Carolina from, say, Belmont and the Baileytown area, Edwina, Finney Patch, Bluffton, Browns, Allen Grove, Cosby. So Cosby, you are now, and along Highway 321 in a tornado warning now that runs until 10:30 this evening. So a tornado warning has been extended by the National Weather Service out of Morristown, Tennessee. Kodak is doing just fine. Still heavy rain showing up in Strawberry Plains, Thorn Grove, Kodak, Asbury, Holston Hills, downtown Knoxville getting walloped with heavy rain in and around the downtown area. Actually, let's see if I can't bring this up for you. Well, that's not going to work very well. Let's see. Let's get that one. Here's your TDOT cameras in and around Knox County. So parts of Knox County seeing some soggy conditions, heavy rain in and around the downtown area. And again, this is in and around downtown. Some of these cameras are a little bit further to the west of downtown Knoxville, but some of them do include 407. So the bottom right-hand one, that's exit 407 at Kodak. And Kodak is Still getting some moderate rain, but the severe potential is still further to our south and southeast. All right, back to the radar we go, shall we? Any news out there, guys? Eli is up near Tri-Cities. He said it's getting nasty up there. 75 mile per hour wind gusts, extremely heavy rain. So new severe thunderstorm warnings now for upper East Tennessee, Tri-Cities area. So now we have Sullivan County, as well as Carter County, Washington counties, and let's see what else. Under a new severe thunderstorm warning. We also have severe thunderstorm warnings for the Tri-Cities area, Churchill, Kingsport, Spurgeon, Elizabethton, Johnson City, not officially under a severe thunderstorm warning. Further to the south of that, we did have a tornado warning, but that now has switched over to a severe thunderstorm warning. That does include Mohawk, Greenville, Afton, Baileyton, or just south of Baileyton anyways. That's sliding off to the southeast. The BTI on that, no BTI on that. But the hail size could be 3/4 of an inch. So hail is possible, 70% probability of hail racing to the southeast at 40 miles per hour. So it's going to be in Mossheim at about 10:13, 10:18 in Baileyton. Now we're getting an update. So still 10:18 in Baileyton and Greenville at 10:24. Should people in Newport take shelter? I would say, folks, in Newport, I think you're fine for now, Newport. Stick with me. The strongest part of the cell is just to the west. You're going to get heavy rain, and yes, you are under a tornado warning in Newport, but I think that you're going to get the heavy rain on the part of the supercell thunderstorm right there that will likely come into Newport. Where's Newport? I just lost my. There it is. So likely some of the heaviest rain to come in Newport. Now, the most severe part of the cell is the hail shaft right there from Sandy Ridge to Chestnut Hill. And then again, the inflow to where we potentially would see rotation with a supercell thunderstorm right in that area. And so when we switch back over, now this storm has a BTI now of a 3.0. A 3.0 was a 3.9, I think, just moments ago. And so that's the storm. Now, if this storm turns more easterly instead of southeasterly, then Newport, you need to watch out. But I really think this is going to be more of a southeasterly thing. So I think it's going to go right over Highway 411 and what's that road? 411 and whatever that road is from Dandridge to Sandy Ridge into Chestnut Hill. So that's a little bit more of a concern. So that would slide its way. Bird Crossroads, Sunset Gap, Wilton Springs, maybe. So Newport, stay weather alert because you're still technically under a tornado warning. But based on the track of this, I don't necessarily know that you'll have to be concerned. But it can switch quickly. So there's your 15-minute loop on the radar. And sometimes we have to loop things to really get an idea of the progression that these are taking. Dumping buckets in Strawberry Plains. And in downtown Knoxville. And in Fountain City and Holston Hills. And in Kodak. And in Douglas Lake. And Dandridge. Well, Dandridge's lighter rain right now. But we are still hanging on to this one cell that has moved all the way from northern Middle Tennessee and is now moving its way into Cott County as well as Sevier County. Literally, this storm, the one that's moving into Cott County and Sevier County, literally, as a crow's fly, started somewhere around here. So we're looking, by the time it exits East Tennessee, it's over that one supercell, 150 plus miles is what that one supercell potentially has done. It has held itself together. It has produced confirmed tornadoes, or at least potential confirmed tornadoes. And it's still holding its supercell structure more or less as it moves its way into Sevier and Cott County. Incredible. But that's the kind of environment that we've been in. We've been warm, we've been moist, we've had a lot of energy and spin in the atmosphere to work with. And so that's really one of the things that we're going to watch. Terry says, Newport, crazy lightning, high winds, and pouring rain. But the good news is that maybe all you'll get. We have got 103 lightning strikes showing up right now in this vantage point. When you tilt the radar sideways, you can really get an idea of those lightning strikes and how intense they are in some locations. The longer they are, the more intense they are. There's Newport, so you've had some pretty good lightning strikes right around the Newport area. Carson Springs. And again, right around Maple Springs, that's where the bullseye is. Bird Crossroad, Maple Spring, English Creek, Highway 321, Carson Springs, Wilton Springs, Finney Patch, Lick Log, and Raven Branch. And then it will continue towards Grassy Fork and also towards Boomer. So again, this is the one cell that is held together for over 150 miles and is continuing to pack a punch here in East Tennessee with a continued tornado warning that runs until 10:30. What's that? Claxton and Clinton. Let's go ahead and talk about Claxton and Clinton for a second. So Claxton and Clinton and anybody in Anderson County into, let's say, well, that'd be southern. That's still Anderson County there. All the way over to Harriman, into Roane County, Cumberland County towards Crab Orchard. Let me just look at a couple products here, but you're probably fine. I would imagine you are probably fine. Now, with that said, I will say a couple things. So look at that shear. That's the one. Look at that. That's the one that started in Middle Tennessee. And it just continues. Because if I take the radar, if I take the, where is it? Well, there's the radar out of Nashville. And again, that storm started way up in the southern Middle Tennessee. All right, that's a lot of hoopla. All right, so Clinton, Oak Ridge, Blair, Harriman, Halls, Fountain City, downtown Knoxville, heavy rain, no severe weather threat right now. I would imagine it's 10:02 that we start to quiet down. These will continue to slide to our south. Here's a 15-minute radar loop. And so Coalfield, Grove, Wartburg, Elizabeth, Sunbright, Deer Lodge, go to bed. You guys are fine. Anybody in Fentress County, Cumberland County, Scott County, or Morgan County, you are likely to go to bed. Would I have a way to receive weather information just to be on the safe side? I sure would. Union County, you're good. Claiborne County, probably good to go to bed. Places like, I would say Chattanooga. Obviously, we haven't talked about the Southern Valley, Athens, Dayton, Chattanooga, Cleveland. Haven't really needed to talk to you about much of the activity on going down there. I'll switch over to the high top radar in northern Alabama. Oops. Let's get to that high top. And just kind of see if there's anything really to be concerned about. And I just don't think there is. I think once these storms move out of here from upper East Tennessee, I don't think we have too much to be concerned with across parts of Oak Ridge, downtown Knoxville, Carnes, Halls, Skagston, Paulette. But, again, we still have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until midnight tonight. We've had confirmed tornadoes. We've had spin. We've had a lot of damage showing up. And we've had the sound of freight trains going on. Well, when I have too much on the screen, Deccan, it was too much hoopla. I had to take the hoopla off. What'd you say?
Lots of hail in Newport.
Lots of hail showing up now in Newport. All right. So let's bring this back to the current time. And let's get our bearings here. So there's Newport. So yeah, I mean, well, the hail core is incredible. So let's go over to the hail product here. This storm has also produced quite a bit of hail. Look at the hail tracks from that one supercell, all the way from Clinton through Halls, downtown Knoxville to Douglas Lake, and continuing. When you look at Oh, they did. Okay, hold on, stand by, my friends. Tri-Cities just got a tornado warning. So a new tornado warning issued by the National Weather Service for the Tri-Cities area. The latest information on that tornado warning from the National Weather Service says, let's see, it says the National Weather Service in Morristown has issued a tornado warning for Sullivan County, northeastern Washington County, and central Carter County. This runs until 10:45. The current time is now 10:05. So a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Colonial Heights or just over Kingsport, moving east at 50 miles per hour. This is radar indicated, but definitely something to keep an eye on. This will be moving over to Johnson City, Kingsport, Oak Grove, and Spurgeon around 10:05, which is where we currently are. So here's a storm, tornado warning, Tri-Cities, Colonial Heights, Spurgeon, Bluff City, Elizabethton, Johnson City, just on the south side technically of the tornado warning, but that doesn't mean that you're out of the woods. When we look at the shear product, the in-house shear product doesn't look too terribly impressive, but the low-level scan of the Doppler radar looks a little bit more impressive. And we're looking at this spin right here from Holston to Spurgeon to Boring. Not being boring and boring today. Crossroads, Bluff City, Barnett's, and Bunker Hill. So all areas in Upper East Tennessee, we do have a current tornado warning that was just issued by the National Weather Service. This runs until 10:45. Again, for Carter County, Sullivan County, and also Washington County. So Carter, Sullivan, and Washington counties. So tornado warning in effect until 10:45 tonight. So for about another 40 minutes or so. Let's see here. So, there we are. There we are, my friends. All right, so we've got still active weather. We've got 2 tornado warnings right now and 1 severe thunderstorm warning, all for Upper East Tennessee, all in the area that was of concern with the severe thunderstorm watch that was issued by the National Weather Service. Let's see. Strawberry Plains is okay to go to sleep. Strawberry Plains, I believe, is okay to go to sleep. Let's double check. Strawberry Plains, yeah, you're good to go to sleep. Have a good night, Emily. So Danica says, I was hearing a freight train and I thought it was like a tow rumble sound. A tow or maybe a low rumble sound. A low rumble sound. Yep. I think so anybody north of Interstate 40, west of downtown Knoxville, anybody west of downtown Knoxville, you're good to go to bed. Anybody north of downtown Knoxville, you're good to go to bed. But again, Upper East Tennessee, Tri-Cities area, Cocke County, pushing its way into the national park from downtown Knoxville. So the heaviest rain right now is just from the Holston Hills area. Could see some flooding concerns. We've got incredible amounts of rain showing up with this. Our rainfall product has been incredible. When you look at your rainfall rates out of this, this is what we were talking about over the last couple of days anyways. We've got 7.2 inch rainfall rates per hour, 7.4. Now, obviously, the rain's not going to sit over you for 1 hour, but if it would produce 7 inches of rainfall. And so that's incredible amounts of rain. That's what could lead to some localized flooding and or flash flood concerns. All right, let's see. Let's go back to this. Okay, so Tri-Cities, Upper East Tennessee, tornado warning until 10:45. Again, Carter County, Sullivan County, and Washington County. Just clipping Washington counties anyways. This runs until 10:45. It's 10:09 right now. We do have some shear showing up. We've got some spin in the atmosphere. It doesn't look too terribly impressive. I'm not too terribly concerned with it, but definitely something that we're going to watch very closely because it is in a tornado-prone environment. Oh, well, thank you very much, April. I appreciate that nice comment of you. All right. So, and don't forget to join us anytime we have severe weather coverage. All right. So, severe thunderstorm warning, obviously not nearly as impressive as the tornado warnings, but heavy rain, some strong gusty winds associated with this storm. Some of the winds out of this one may be pushing 50, 59, 66 miles per hour. So, again, the possibility of severe criteria when it comes to damaging wind gusts out of the storm, moving out of the Grigsby area, Bailington, along Interstate 81, and move into the south and southeast towards Greenville, Afton, and Telford. Now, further to the south, we still have a tornado warning that continues. Let's see. Update. Splendor Oaks hail now $half size. $half hail apparently is being reported from Splendor Oaks. So we'll see what that does. What's that? I don't know. I'm not quite sure where that is. I would imagine that that's probably going to be from this cell. When you look at the hail product, let me give you the Barren Live product. All right, so this is just another product that I can look at. So we've got some incredible heights on these on these clouds and on these storms. I do have. So there's your hail right there showing up in right around the English Creek area. That's where we could see hail there. I've got some heavy rain on the outside of that. And then when you look at the another product that I can have that I have access to, we've got upwards of possibly 2-inch diameter hail, so maybe even 3-inch diameter hail. Now that's usually overdoing it, but when you look at the radar itself, and how strong of an indication that is probably producing some very large hail out of that storm. Let's see if I can't get this up. So here, we're going to 3D this storm for you here just for a second. Get it? Maybe not. There it is. So this storm has incredible heights. I mean, for a December type of a storm, I mean, this storm's going up to 35,000 feet or so. So that's a pretty tall storm for the month of January, or I guess it's February now. So when we look inside the storm, that's going to be your hail core. So all this right here, all that pink right there on the screen, that is your gigantic hail core that is showing up with this storm. So once again, if we bring it back to this view, you'll get an idea of how that hail core is playing out. Oops. Or how massive, I should say, that hail core is. And there it is, right around the Edna area, English Creek, Pleasant Grove, Wilton Springs. That's where we're going to have some of the largest hail. And again, hail diameters could be upwards of an inch, inch and a half, or even greater. Some reports coming in of maybe even $half size hail. Let's see. Katie says, my brother reported golf ball size hail near English Creek and the Armory in Newport. Thank you very much, Katie. I appreciate that report. Can Kodak go to sleep? Only if I can go with you. You all can go to sleep. You don't need to stay here. Let's see. Can Kodak go to sleep? My eyes are watering like crazy. Okay, so Kodak, you don't have any severe weather. We have heavy rain along Interstate 40, so I probably wouldn't be traveling along Interstate 40, but Kodak, I would say that you are probably good to go to bed. So have a great night. Is it Two Mother or Tum Mother? Not quite sure. Karen, you're very welcome. Hail was loud enough to freak me out, says Amber. Kingsport, Manda. Kingsport. All right, so Kingsport is... Listen, Kingsport's on the back edge of that tornado warning, but you're good to go to bed now. When you look at the Kingsport velocity products, again, I think Kingsport is fine, but I would stay weather alert until the biggest part of this system moves on through. So places like until this tornado warning expires for anybody basically east of Kingsport. That's where we're getting some of the. Again, we don't have a ton of rotation showing up with that, but we do still have a tornado warning that goes until 10:45 for another 30 minutes or so. So some hail about quarter size in diameter possibly being shown in Newport. Good night, Janelle. Janelle's off to bed. She's got to work tomorrow morning. Brent's still here, though. Brent's here. My eyes are watering, Brent. So I'm not too terribly concerned about this. Kingsport, I think you can go to bed. But again, I don't think that we have a tornado warning. So obviously, I'm not going to just say it's not anything. But when you look at our in-house shear product, when you look at the velocity product, and you look at the radar that doesn't show a lot of classic hook echoes or anything like that, I'm not too concerned, but there is still a tornado warning on that, so we're going to stick with that. Also, that severe thunderstorm warning for right around the Baileyton and Greenville area. Again, heavy rain, maybe some hail showing up with that. Heaviest rain is still stretching all the way from Kingston through Oak Ridge, Halls, along and just north of Interstate 40, along Interstate 75 and Interstate 40 as you get closer to Kodak and exit 407 and 11E. But the strongest cell is the one that's producing the largest hail, and that's right around the Pleasant Grove, Finley Patch, Click Mill, and Wilton Springs area. We are losing our supercell structure, so this is good news as it continues to race to the southeast. This is the storm we're talking about. Let me take off the lightning data because that just and the radar, or excuse me, the let's take off the skits too. I'm just going to take everything off the map just so you can kind of get an idea of how this storm played out. I'm going to slow it down. Here's a 1 hour loop. I'm going to slow it down for you. And you can see that supercell structure. Like, let me go back to that. So this didn't really have the supercell structure a whole lot there, a little bit, because it's kind of supercell cycle, tornadoes cycle through. We started to really get that supercell structure on that storm right about there. And that's when we started, as I was like, okay, we're starting to take characteristics of a classic supercell. Then we progress through time and you'll start to see that classic kidney bean shape. And right there is a classic as well. And one thing to note, too, to let us know that we have some very strong winds aloft. When you get a supercell, you get inflow notches that come in right here, right? Warm, moist air. Yeah, on the backside of that, you get your cold outflow on the backside of that. But the winds aloft are so strong, they're racing through like this. And what they do is it helps to kind of shear the top of this cell out where you kind of get a little bit of a signature like this. And so that just is a great indication that we have incredible winds aloft in the atmosphere, helping to push that radar out way out ahead of the storm. And again, and these are pretty high storms considering the time of the year. All right, so we got some hail being shown up, and there we go. There's some hail showing up right there. So larger than the size of a quarter, and that is from Sugarwood Drive in Kodak 25 minutes ago. So that's the kind of stuff. Lenore City? Okay. Yeah, I'll get there. Let me take that down. So that just happened in Kodak just a little bit ago. But anyways, classic supercell thunderstorm. It's held itself together. Now we bring it back to the current time. And again, we're losing that supercell structure and improving conditions are on the way. What do you want me to do? Yeah. Let's see here. Shear. Velocity. No. Nada. We probably have some, let's see what our winds are at ahead of that. 50, 54. So maybe just sub-severe winds at ahead of that. So when you look at certain products, when you're looking at for wind in a storm, you want to look at velocity, right? This is going to show us the velocity in the atmosphere. When you're looking at tornadoes, you want to look at storm relative velocity. And that's really going to clean the velocity product up to give us an idea of something like this. And that classic, like, turning in the atmosphere. Now, doesn't always tell the whole story because you got to go back to the radar and say, okay, what does the radar look like? Okay, yeah, maybe we do have a little bit of flow coming in here. And maybe we are getting a little bit of a notch because we have had a notch with this storm pretty much the entire time. As it moved its way off the Cumberland Plateau in Middle Tennessee, it has held its supercell structure together nearly the entire time. And so, but it's moving its way into the mountains of Cocke County. We're starting to see improving conditions. Sure, we've got some very large hail still showing up in Raven Branch and Click Mill probably. Heavy rain right around the Harmony Grove and Del Rio area. Let's see. And let's get the radar. I took all my radars off. And we still have a tornado warning on that storm system until 10:30. It's now 10:20. So I would imagine that the National Weather Service is just going to allow this one to expire. I'm not that concerned with what's going on inside that storm right now. So I'm not that concerned. It's moving into a very rural, mountainous part of the area and getting ready to cross over into North Carolina. So that storm system seems to be is dying down and is a thing of the past. And to be honest with you, my friends, I think when you look at the radar product across the entire state of, not the entire state, but all of East Tennessee, we still have heavy rain, 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in upper East Tennessee. We've got Sullivan County, Washington County, as well as Carter County, and also Johnson County, all under severe thunderstorm warning that runs, generally speaking, until 10:30 to 11 o'clock at night. We also have now that tornado warning storm over in Cocke County, which still runs until 10:30, but we just talked about that, is actually now a severe thunderstorm warning over into North Carolina. And even though we have had, let me get my words out here today, Junior. Even though we've got heavy rain, have heavy rain along Interstate 40 through Knox County, Jefferson, Sevier County down through Roane County. It doesn't look like we're going to see the severe weather potential. I mean, it's 10:21. I was thinking that the severe weather potential would be, probably over closer to about 10 o'clock. Here we are. I said 10 to midnight earlier this morning, 10 o'clock, and things are starting to wind down just a bit. So with that said, I'll show you a couple camera views around town, and we'll check in on those TDOT cameras one more time as well. Again, very soggy conditions around town. Those are the TDOT cameras around East Tennessee. We'll show you what it looks like in Hardin Valley here at this hour. That's a live look in Hardin Valley, just to the south of Carnes, how things have improved from what we saw earlier today in that part of town. Heavy rain, severe storms. It is our very first active severe weather episode, if you will, that we've seen so far this year. I think that it's going to be a very active year. As things start to wind down, I have your attention, hopefully. I've got lots of folks on here still. So what I want to do, and by all means, you can ask questions. And let's see. All right. Just trying to go over the chat here. So again, I think the severe weather potential is really starting to wind down. That tornado warning for Cocke County is starting to fade away. 2 severe thunderstorm warnings for upper East Tennessee. Nothing for Knox County, Roane, Jefferson, and Sevier County right now. So with that said, let's just go back to the big picture for just a second and talk about the fact that here's the latest information for the severe thunderstorm watch. Still in effect until midnight here tonight. But it's been shaved off. So anybody outside of that severe thunderstorm watch is pretty much good to go. I really think that we're going to see improving conditions as we head through the overnight hours. But what I want to show you here, and my eyes are watering like crazy, what I want to show you is this. And we'll continue the story here in just a second, but the point of the story is very elevated rain chances over the next 7 days. But it may not stop there. And again, I apologize for my eyes, my friends. They are just nonstop watering. The sty in my eye won't go away, Brent. So elevated rain chances just over the 7-day period. When you look at our rainfall outlook by the Weather Prediction Center through Saturday, we're likely to get about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain, generally speaking. Then we're going to add more to that as we get into our Sunday, Monday. And then we're going to add more to that as we get into our Tuesday, Wednesday. But just through next Wednesday, we could see anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. And if you see any of my forecasts that I ever do, I do 3 forecasts a day, 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. I do a live broadcast, Wake Up with Witcher at 7 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Friday. Join us for that. But if you've seen any of my forecasts here recently, we've talked about the story doesn't stop there. So 2 to 4 inches of rain by next Wednesday. And then we go above and beyond that, and we get into your 6 to 10 and even your 8 to 14 day outlook. And we're talking about incredible amounts of rain, where some models are indicating upwards of maybe 3 to 6, 4 to 7 inches of rainfall. I posted on my social media account earlier today. I'll bring that picture back up here to show you that how much rainfall that I think there is the potential, which again is going to be insult to injury as this continues to add up. So here's the map I showed on social media earlier today. This is your 16-day rainfall outlook. This is not a deterministic model. This is an ensemble. Go to my social media page. You can read all about it. But what it does is takes in different parameters into the model, and you get different outputs. And when the ensembles start to come together, the consistency, that means the confidence is increasing that we're likely to have something. Well, this would be rainfall. This would be mean rainfall all the way through the next 16 days. That's painting a picture of 4 to 6 plus inches of rainfall right here in our own backyard. We seem to be the bullseye. The river of moisture is going to move on through. It is going to be incredibly soggy. It is going to be, I do have concerns. I posted that on social media earlier today. I do actually have some concerns due to the fact that I think that we could be dealing with a serious situation again with major flooding concerns that will ramp up as time moves on. And it's not like it's going to happen tomorrow. It's not like it's going to happen Sunday. But each and every rain event that we get above and beyond the one from the previous day is what's going to cause the issues. And we saw that earlier in Upper East Tennessee. We had the heavy rain that led up to Helene. Helene ultimately was not the culprit for the flooding in Upper East Tennessee and Asheville, North Carolina. It was the cherry on top of the cake. It was the insult to injury. We had incredible amounts of rain leading up to Helene. Helene just kind of put the cherry on top for us, and not one that we want. So I think that's going to be a story as we look through the next 10, 16 days. So something to kind of keep in mind. As I tell you all the time, and I want to show you one more time. And some of you may not even know this because some of you have just recently found me on social media, didn't realize that I had started East Tennessee Weather. But I do have a free weather app. Get rid of the cell phone app that just comes with your cell phone. You don't need that. If you're paying for weather, stop paying for weather. You don't need to be paying for weather at all. But this is what the app looks like when you open it up. And the cool thing about it is I've tried to keep things clean, simple, easy, and efficient. All the advertisers on here are from our local advertisers, from our community. But what I wanted to show you from the app was a couple things. I was going somewhere with that, Brent. Where was I going with that? The Future Cast? Yes. That's where I was going with that. Yeah, so all watches, that's what I was doing. All watches and warnings issued by the National Weather Service will get pushed through the app. Remember I told you that the Futurecast, the interactive radar is great. This is your past 2 hours. There's your current time, and there's your Futurecast of 2 hours. So as we continue to progress through the spring months, make sure that you stay in the know. You can set this app up to however you'd like. You can get your daily forecast weather updates, live weather cameras right there in the app. Look at this. I click play right there. Now we're in Hardin Valley. There's with music attached to it. There's Hardin Valley. That's Hardin Valley. I guess I got 2 Hardin Valleys. Well, anyway, there are shut that down. Anyways, the East Tennessee Weather app is a free app download. Make sure that you download it today to always stay on top of the latest forecast every single day. All right. Let's go back to that. So anyways, heavy rain, severe storms are winding down here this evening. It's 10:29. We have 2 2 severe thunderstorm warnings continuing, one till 11 o'clock, one till 10:30. So basically the one for, Mountain City, Upper East Tennessee, Carter County, Johnson County will expire at 11, but probably before then. The tornado warning, that's in Cott County. That is pretty much done because the storm is moving its way over into North Carolina. And the heavy rain along Interstate 40, I mean, this isn't going to be an issue because when you look at the last 30 minutes, this rain hasn't moved very far. And that's going to cause some flooding concerns as well. So if you picked up heavy rain today and you continue to get more rounds and rounds of rain each and every day over the next 16 days, yeah, it is going to cause some issues for sure. All right, my friends, it is 10:30. I think most of us, all of us, are ready to hop into bed. The weather is quieting down. I really don't see of any concern to be live anymore. Remember, I will always be live for severe weather coverage as best as I possibly can when I can, but I'm here for you each and every day, and that's what I want to do. Again, I can't stress enough, if you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, I really, really highlight or suggest downloading it. Listen, I've downloaded a lot of weather apps in my life, being a meteorologist, but the East Tennessee Weather app, I didn't design it, came from somebody else, but is a great tool because it gives you everything you need. You literally have everything at your fingertips, and it travels wherever you go. Are you taking spring break vacations coming up? Guess what? The East Tennessee Weather app goes wherever you go as well. So with that said, we're going to round up tonight's severe weather coverage. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for trusting in me. Thank you for coming to East Tennessee Weather for information. I do appreciate it more than you know. As we do wrap things up, I do want you to understand again what the app is all about, what you can get. So we'll end with that. In the meantime, have a great night. Be safe. Be kind to each other. All East Tennessee weather platforms will be updated by 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Live weather updates at 7 o'clock with Wake Up with Witcher, which is above and beyond a general forecast. We have fun. We do have national holidays. What else do we do, Brent? Well, I don't know. Shenanigans. We go over the model forecast. We just try to have a little bit more fun. I try to give you a little bit more information than I do in a normal broadcast scene. But I will always be here with you for severe weather coverage. All right, my friends, have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Plan your day with the East Tennessee Weather app. From video forecast weather updates to an interactive radar giving you past, current, and future radar of 2 hours to day parts, 7 days, current conditions, access to the only 24-hour weather channel right here in East Tennessee, live weather cameras, and severe weather alerts from the National Weather Service. Download the app today to always stay in the know. This is East Tennessee Weather. Weather when you want it.